Going on, folks? It is coming down to the end of the year. I think we got like one more comic book movie in Aquaman come December, but we're here to talk about a movie that got announced, and I think a lot of us were kind of like, okay, let's see how this goes. And that movie was Venom. And joining me today is Joe in Prime. How's it going, gentlemen?
Guten Tag.
Before we get into it here, kind of a news that broke out today. So apparently, James Gunn went from one studio and is going to another studio. And apparently, he is going to be involved in Suicide Squad 2. To which I was like, well, shit. That's like such a good hit on that. And yeah, I saw you put up a story on Instagram like, yo, that's like the best thing ever, which I will definitely agree with. It's like perfect. It's like, come on, like, how can you not love that?
Well, this is the WB, so my only concern is WB step the hell off and let that man work.
I mean, it looks like they let James Wan work with Aquaman because I don't see any like handling on it yet. I'm gonna put an asterisk to it till Aquaman comes out, but. From what I'm seeing, it doesn't have any WB isms and shit in it. So I'm like, all right, let's see how this movie works.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
From what I understand, like this is a new, I guess you call it a new regime at WB right now. It's right. This isn't the same Batman v Superman people. Like everyone. So I guess cautiously optimistic. Maybe they looked at Wonder Woman and they were like, "Look what happened when we just let her do her thing." It's like one of the most beloved movies.
Yeah.
Look what happened with Justice League when we meddled. We fucked that one up. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe we should just step off. James Wan looks like he's all over Aquaman.
Yeah.
So maybe they've learned their lesson. Maybe, and if James Gunn is left to do what he did with Guardians,
man,
there you go.
All I'm saying is I need my King Shark in Suicide Squad 2. That's all I'm saying.
So here's a quick question then. So when Dave Bautista comes over, because you know he's coming.
Yo, dude, he already tweeted like, I want to come on there. I was like, King Shark, there you go.
Either King Shark or I'm kind of leaning towards, why not Bane? What do you think of that?
I would say KG Beast.
No, because they've already,
Hey, they can get rid. They can
say.
Can
you do a Russian accent?
I don't know. I mean, look, I think he did a direct-to-DVD movie where he tried to do a Russian accent, and it was very hit and miss. So,
How about this? How about no accents for him? So, like, Bane has to be South American. Fuck Tom Hardy for that shitty Bane that we got. he's South American, so like that's an accent. KGB is Russian.
You mean you don't like my posh accent?
Yeah. Hey, look, if he's Bane, if he's just Bane with the mask and he's trying to do a Hispanic accent, it's like, okay, fine, it's you, Batista. You got a presence to you. I'll buy it, you know. So, I mean, he's already jacked as is, so you don't really have to go nuts with like the Venom aspect to him.
Fuck that, you do. I'm tired of like.
No. What I'm saying is you don't have to go. Put it this way, you don't have to go nuts. Like I like, and I mean I don't know if you guys agree with me. I like the look of Bane in Arkham Origins versus how he looked in the Arkham Asylum games.
Well, see, there are a lot of things I like about Arkham Origins that people call me crazy for, and that's one of the things I really like about Arkham Origins. It was believable. He was fucking big. He had one of the best boss fights in the damn game.
Yeah. Like the look of him, it wasn't like the Venom shit. It wasn't over exaggerated on him. I just felt like the shit in like Arkham Asylum and like Arkham City and stuff. It just felt a little over exaggerated. It's like no, just keep the shit simple. Like it's a simple feeding tube. Even Young Justice did a pretty good job with the system. It's like no, just attach to his back. He can crank the dial up and that's it. Don't have to put no tubes and all that shit. Just keep it simple.
Dude, Origins is hands down the best in my opinion, the best visual Bane I think I've ever seen.
Like, I would rather Batista look like that. Keep him looking like that. Then it's like, all right, cool. I can rock with that. That's simple and it's practical.
But you still got to give him some help. He's not that big anymore. Like, if you see him, at Con, and she's a big dude, but
is The Rock bigger than? Is The Rock bigger than the Batista?
Yes.
Wow.
The Rock's on everything.
Wow, I thought it was like I thought they were like even. I didn't. Wow, that shit.
No,
man. If you would have told me The Rock would be bigger than Batista, I would be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, wow, that's.
See, The Rock. I mean, come on.
I knew he was big, but I thought Batista was like they were rocking the same size to an extent. Give or take.
No.
Wow, shit.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
Oh yeah, The Rock is a damn monster.
Jesus. Wow. Huh.
The Rock, he's a thick boy.
I mean, I knew that, but still, Jesus, wow. Huh.
Did you guys see that John Henry thing he released?
That doesn't shock me. It's like, all right, Rock, cool. All right, dope, fine.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants, man. I mean, he literally runs Hollywood.
I mean, it's like, who's going to tell him he can't be John Henry? It's like, I'm fine with this. This is perfect. I mean, look, if Michael Clark Duncan's alive, I'd be like, hey, how come Michael Clark Duncan can't be John Henry? That would have been like my next pick right there.
Isn't it called John Henry? Like, I'm kind of getting like a Kingsman vibe from what they're trying to do.
Like a secret agent kind of thing?
Not a secret agent thing, but like, it's John Henry and he's got a crew with him and shit like that. Like just a kind of like a group of people. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just like I was reading his tweets and I'm like, it's kind of feels like Kingsman to me.
Yeah, we'll see. But
yeah.
But going back to Suicide Squad 2, but yeah, this is a good get by WB once it finally gets solidified in there and stuff. And I mean, if I were them with the team, I would still keep Will and Robbie. I would keep Katana to an extent. I
bring Boomerang back.
Yeah, you know what? I would bring Boomerang. I don't know. See, I would have to replace what's his face? What's that dude's name?
Killer Croc.
Huh? Yeah, I would replace Killer Croc with King Shark or whoever Batista is. Like, put Bane in that slot or something like that.
Now, I might be on the odd man out here, but I'd be like, I would find any way possible to resurrect El Diablo.
You know what? When they did the behind the scenes thing, apparently El Diablo might come back. Apparently, so I'm like, oh, so they're going to pull a G.I. Joe retaliation and just bring him back because it's like, all right, cool, fine.
He reconstituted himself.
A sequel, or is this like a reboot?
Okay, so the rumor is that it's going to be a reboot, but I was sitting back like they're going to put again G.I. Joe retaliation is going to be like a light reboot / like continuation kind of thing.
So it's gonna be like that animated movie that came out. What was it? Hell to Pay? What was it?
Yeah, Hell to Pay. Where it's like they kept they kept some people, and that's
Assault on Arkham maybe happened.
You remember at the end of Assault on Arkham, Deadshot was about to kill Amanda Waller, and I'm like, in Hell to Pay, it's like, so that didn't exist, huh? All right, fine.
But then they remember Harley Quinn, and they use some of the same character models. Fucking nothing matters.
But that's Suicide Squad in a nutshell. It's like, I'm fine with if it's like continuity. I'll take that. That's better than nothing. But I mean, if they keep some of the cast, that would be cool. Like I said, I would bring back El Diablo. If you had to bring another woman to the mix, right? Who would you get?
Poison Ivy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Catwoman doesn't fit.
I'm gonna say if not Poison Ivy, then maybe Killer Frost.
See, I was gonna go with that too.
Or
yeah, I'd say that too.
Or Manhunter. Although I know Manhunter isn't traditionally with the Suicide Squad, but then she's too much like Katana. Never mind. I scratch that. I just thought about it. Not Manhunter.
Wasn't there a female Firefly?
Yes, there was. What about they adapt and use the female Dr. Light?
Or female Copperhead.
You know what? You fucking genius. I love it. I fucking love it.
I'm just saying. I mean, again, Arkham Origins. I was like, oh shit, Copperhead. I forgot there was a female Copperhead. Okay, I'm completely fine with this.
Now, I also want to say, Yeah.
Killer
Also,
Frost
say if they
dope,
do
though.
this, I wouldn't mind seeing fucking Bronze Tiger, and I've been white knighting for Bronze Tiger for damn near 20 years.
Listen, they want to fuck our minds up. You're bringing fucking Michael Jai White from Arrow to play fucking Bronze Tiger. Just for shits and giggles. Don't even fucking say it's in continuity or whatever. Just bring him in. Fuck it. Because I mean, hey, I like what they were using him in Arrow to an extent, but it's like I really feel a movie he'd be able to flex a little bit more.
Isn't he coming back in season 7 for the prison arc?
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
Hey, we said it when me and D were talking about Arrow, and I was like, oh, dude, they're taking that script that was supposed to be for Supermax, and that's season 7. I was like, yes.
How many years have I been saying this shit on Twitter? That's what they need to fucking do.
Oh, this solidifies that we might get the question on a CW show in some capacity. I'm waiting.
Oh my gosh. If we get the question, we better get fucking onomatopoeia.
Telling you right now, if that Batwoman show kicks off, that's where we're going to get the question in. I'm calling it right now.
So did you see that fucking costume though?
Yes, I did.
Quite nice. Quite nice.
I mean, you can't fuck up Batwoman. The costume.
Yes, I mean, this is a CW.
You said yes.
This is CW. I mean, it's
entirely possible. Yeah, my optimism just kind of went aloof on that one. So you're right.
But see, honestly, man, like, do you guys have the DC streaming thing?
I'm gonna get it probably next month.
Yeah, I'll try the I'll try the trial stuff. I'm interested in Titans because from some of the reviews they were saying that despite what the trailers give off of it being gritty, the show itself isn't exactly that, which to me
so it's not Arrow's wet dream is what you're saying.
No, it's not. And
okay.
And I think one of the reviewers even said that was kind of a dumb call by WB for doing that shit to try to like be edgy for no reason.
Chris, are you insinuating that the WB doesn't know what the fuck to do with DC properties?
Yeah, I really am.
Are you insinuating that?
I think that's a situation where it's like I wish Jeff Johns sat them down and said, "Hey, stop that shit." All right, I really wish.
I feel like Jeff tries, but like they don't listen to him. To like shut the fuck up, comic book man.
Because I mean,
he's like, but I was the protege for Richard Donner. You have to listen to what I have to say.
Because look, I laughed my ass off. I think I told you this. I was in San Diego, and when me and D saw the trailer, and I heard "fuck Batman," I was like, and me and D looked at each other like, and just laughed like, okay. I was like, come on, man.
It was pretty good.
No.
So explain to me, right?
It was just funny in the sense of like everybody having a brain melt that he said "fuck Batman," but at the same time, it's like
folks lost their damn mind.
But at the same time, it's like on a certain level, maybe because I remember reading the comics and just that one Batman the animated series when Dick basically punched the shit out of fucking Bruce. I was like, that lines up a little bit.
People flipping out about that, and I'm like, isn't the whole existence of Nightwing like fuck Batman.jpg?
Yeah, it really is. So it's like I get it. That's why I was like, I mean, you could say, okay, maybe because everybody's still kind of hurt what happened to Justice League. I understand Spiderverse. I get it, but at the same time, it's like that kind of sort of makes sense. Fuck Batman. I mean, and even the new trailer that dropped with like Dick saying that there was a divide between him and Bruce, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then you add in the addition of Jason Todd. I'm like, they're really going to end season 1 with him and Jason Todd fighting it out to see who's going to be Robin. And Dick said, you know what, Jason, you win. I'm Nightwing. Peace.
But do you think that DC WB, like, let's say, Batwoman is a hit on Arrow and a bunch is going to be on.
Yeah.
Do you think that they tried to push for another CW show? Or we're gonna push
it's already confirmed.
It's confirmed. It's
confirmed that the backdoor pilot is that crossover that's happening. I think later this year.
Mm-hmm. And so can I rant for a second about that shit?
Yeah.
Can I rant for 1 second about our beloved comic book news sites? So they announced that the crossover is going to be called Elseworlds, right?
Yeah.
Very standard. Very if you know anything about DC Comics, you know that's an important label. Right. It's basically about DC's What If Tales, I'm not going to explain it. So, they announced that they were casting for a character called the Monitor, and the first fucking hot piece that I saw was, could the CW be hinting that they're going to merge their DC CW worlds? And do any of these people on these websites read any comic books?
Have they not watched The Flash? Have they not watched The Flash where they say multiverses? So
well, they established that the multiverses, but when they say the Monitor, people are like, does this mean that the villain is going to merge them? First of all, okay, A1, that's the anti-Monitor you're thinking about.
Yep.
Number two, the Monitors are essentially DC's cosmic watchers who watch the multiverses and maintain order. So maybe, and I'm just spitballing here. I mean, it's not like I know anything about comic books at all, but I'm just trying to guess what's going to happen. Maybe something happens with this Monitor that initiates or kickstarts the crossover. Don't know if he's a villain yet or not. I haven't been reading behind the scenes footage.
They haven't really announced the villain. They just announced Batwoman is crossing over, and it's going to be across 3 nights: Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So that's about it.
And they're casting the Monitor, and I'm like, why are you all so fucking gun happy to get the scoop for clicks saying, is this one going to be like, no.
Come on, Prime. You know the deal with these things, man. That's the reason why all three of us made that decision when we started this podcast. I do not want to sit there and do articles on clickbait. I don't mind talking about speculation. Don't get it twisted. I don't mind talking about speculative stuff because that's fun.
One thing.
That's fun. That's but not to report it, though. It's like, no, I'm not going to report that shit. Fuck that.
And then to show your hand, to show that you know absolutely jack shit all about what you're reporting on. And I think, especially now, after that article I talked about on Twitter about how the TARDIS is a racist symbol, I think I'm fucking done. I'm done with think pieces for like the entire 2018.
I'm surprised Doctor Who has finally joined the think piece tank in hot takes. I'm shocked.
Bruh.
I thought Doctor Who was gonna scoot under the microscope.
Nah, cause we were here back when they first cast Martha, man. We've been in the struggle. We've been hot.
Power Rangers for a while was avoiding it until recently. So Well, hold up. Has Power Rangers been under any hot takes?
Yes, I think I've seen a couple related to the female Red Rangers and the air quote how Shattered Grid changes the game forever by people who only watch season 1. I'm sorry, written by people who only watch season 1. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole James Gunn thing has me excited and giddy. Like I said, a lot of people are reporting that's what's happening. So at this point, it's kind of confirming to see what entails with that is because they also said there's rumor that he's actually going to be helping writing too at the same time. So either he's going to be directing or he's going to be doing both. So we'll see how that all plays out and stuff. But
I don't think James Gunn directs anything that he doesn't write that he doesn't like.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, to me, it's entirely because I was just reading the thing where you guys are talking. Like, it's entirely dependent on if you're James Gunn, Disney kind of threw you under the bus, right? But look at what you did for those characters, and hey, do you want to direct this movie? Yeah, sure. Let's see the script. You know what the first one looked like. Like, I think you guys are right. I think he comes in there and says, "Look, I'll do this, but we're doing this my way. You got to let me write it. You got to let me pick the characters. Cast who I want." Because his name now attached to anything that they have, whether it's good or bad, is just going to bring eyes. You know what I mean? He's not directing anything.
He could flex
anything he doesn't like.
He could flex on WB and be like, "Look, I got $1 billion Guardian franchise. I'm just saying. Let me do my thing, and I can lead you to the motherland, please."
It's good for both of them.
Yeah.
Because if he comes out and he says, "This is my Suicide Squad," he released the cast. It's like, oh shit, okay. He's going to write and direct. Okay, guys like you and I we're all stoked for it. Let's say the movie comes out. Let's say people love it as much or more of Guardians. In a perfect world, that helps his profile.
Oh yeah.
So
and they put him, like I said, they put him on the perfect property too. Because if they said James Gunn is doing like The Flash or something, I'd be like, it could work maybe. I don't know.
If they said Superman, I would have been like, maybe not. Maybe.
I have to do the Curb Your Enthusiasm gif for that one. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. So I think it's a good idea. I love it. I hope it works out.
Yeah. So let's get into the meat of this. So
Venom happened.
Yeah, Venom happened, and look, I said it. I was like this. I said my piece about like Venom and his association with Spider-Man. I think me and Prime talked about this. I think you, Joe, even mentioned this when we talked about it. And my thing is, I come to conclusions like this. It's like, look, if you're going to sell me on this different version of Venom and you're doing this, you got to execute the story well. Like, I get what you're saying, Joe, when it came to Tom Hardy's version of Bane. Like, for me, I didn't mind it because there were certain elements and stuff before that movie got stupid down the line and stuff that I was buying into Bane in Rises, particularly when he beat the shit out of fucking Batman in that first fight, right? So it was like, all right, I can buy your Bane to an extent, but then, you know, the script of that movie just kind of got dumb. So with Venom, I was like, okay, maybe I can buy your world of Venom with no Spider-Man. It's just you got to sell me on this idea. And it didn't do it because I just felt it undermined it, you know? So I guess for you two, I guess going into this film, what were your expectations? I guess starting with you, Joe, and then move on to Prime with this.
Well, I think the difference between a Bane and a Venom comparison is like Bane had Batman in his movies, so imagine a Bane movie with no Batman.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean? you accept Bane because he's fighting Batman in Gotham City. Imagine that. Imagine Bane with no Batman in fucking LA. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work. Man, I thought it was terrible, dude. And when they let me start off by saying the only reason I paid to see this movie is because when shit like this comes out, and I'm like, you know what? I've learned from years and years and years of movies. Like, I still haven't seen the last two X-Men movies. I got up and walked out of Logan, right? I don't like Logan. I don't think it's a good movie. Like, there's certain, I saw Logan because my stepdad is dying to see it. So yada, yada, yada. With this one, you know, when your girl is like, I really want to see that movie because I love Tom Hardy and I love Venom, and you're like, I don't want to fucking see it. And she's like, well then, you know, I don't have anybody to go with. It's like a guilt trip. You know?
Yeah.
If that weren't the case, I would have 100% not even fucking seen this movie. We would be having this conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in the theater, and 10 minutes in, when that shit... we're doing spoilers?
Oh, yeah, we're spoiling the shit out of this movie.
All right. So, like, when the fucking ship lands and they throw in the Jameson comment, like, oh, Jameson's still alive, I heard some people behind me go, see, they're tying it to Spider-Man. And I almost turn around and go, but Jameson doesn't exist in the MCU so far. You know what I mean?
I mean, because...
Like, no, they're not.
But Kavit there, the funny thing is, Sony can still use J. Jonah Jameson to an extent. They can't, because, like...
Right.
Because it's a weird licensing thing, so... Yeah, continue though. I just want to put that out there.
I get what they're saying. Yeah. I get what they're saying. But up until now, no Jameson exists in the Spider-Man movies. Now that could change with a new one.
Who knows?
It could change in the third one. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But I was like, that doesn't mean they're tying in shit. Venom obviously occupies the world of Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of like the Daily, like when she said you got fired from like the Daily Star, I was like, why did you fucking say Daily Bugle?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, when that spaceship crashes and we see the symbiote, I like how they clarified it's symbiote.
I just say symbiote, honestly. I'm like, oh, symbiote.
Yeah. when it starts jumping from host to host, I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, man. It's walking all crazy, kind of like fucking Edgar or Men in Black.
Yeah.
I'm like, jeez. So, you know, as the movie progresses, she keeps looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I'm fucking trying. I'm really trying. Like, okay? And she's like, I know. And I'm like, I'm really fucking trying.
Yeah.
And then when Tom Hardy... I like Tom Hardy. I think Tom Hardy's an outstanding actor. I would say, by and large, I've liked most of his movies. Like, he goes from brilliant to bad. There's kind of no in-between with him that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's either Bronson or he's fucking This Means War with Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when they said Tom Hardy's going to be Venom, like, that's cool. You know, but number one, let's just stop with Tom Hardy can't do accents.
He tries,
you know what I mean?
But it fluctuates.
He tries. But what the fuck accent was he trying to do? Like a New York, San Francisco, British, American? Like, why not just say fucking Eddie Brock's British? You know what I mean? Like,
he ain't Idris Elba. Idris Elba can blend that shit like smooth, like done.
Right. So can Benedict Cumberbatch. Perfect American accent.
Yeah.
Tom Holland, perfect American accent. Ian
McKellen.
It's shit like this. Yeah, it's shit like this where I'm like, oh, jeez, man. And then, dude, the most distracting fucking thing in this movie was the shitty wig they had Michelle Williams in that does not move once.
I didn't know that was
in that fucking movie.
Now that you remind me, I didn't know that was a wig. I thought that was her hair, straight up. I just thought it was just a shitty hairstyle, and that was it. Dead serious.
Even my girl leans over and she's like, what fucking chick doesn't change her hairstyle over the course of like 6 months? Like, this bitch has the same hairstyle at the beginning of the movie, at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
When spoiler, when the symbiote attaches itself to her and then gets off her hair does not move.
Damn.
And we're just
right.
like,
I didn't even think about it like that. I was like, fuck, he's right. He's right.
But honestly, as a whole, like, my takeaway was this. He looks cool when he's Venom.
Yeah.
Right? I like the fact that he looks wet, he looks slick, he's big, he's muscular. I like the expressions in the face. Sometimes he gets a little goofy, but by and large, like, he looks good as Venom. When he scales that building, okay, he doesn't have spider power, so he doesn't stick to walls, but he does it kind of gargoyle style. And I was like, all right, he looks cool. I like that he gallops. You know what I mean? He's animalistic. I like, that he can form, shields and whatnot with his arms and his body. There are things I was like, okay, that's cool. That's Venom. Fuck you for putting in white veins and teasing that white spider, by the way. But the rest of it, honestly, like when there's a scene where the symbiote helps him, defeat the guys in the apartment, he escapes, and then he basically talks shit and it nails into the wall. And then later on, it heals him, and then it detaches itself from him, so he's having a conversation. That's some of the worst CGI I think I've seen in any modern movie. It's fucking terrible. Yeah. It's terrible.
And I was cutting it some slack because it's like Black Panther, when it got to the finale, it had some very kind of like touch and go CGI at times. That's why I was like, Venom the benefit of the doubt to an extent, but yeah.
Yeah, Black Panther was also a good movie and had a lot of good shit going to distract from whatever the flaws might have been. This was like front and center to me.
Yeah.
And the thing that killed me the most is how, first I'm like, okay, well, how the fuck does an alien know English? And I'm like, well, it's just talking to him through his own mind. Okay, so it's, whatever. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But then when it comes out and it's like, you're a loser, Eddie, and you're this, I was a loser on my planet. My name is Venom. I was like, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. The fucking Alien. What does Venom mean in Alien? Why the fuck would an alien have a name like Venom? And I'm just a loser. Like I was like, oh god damn it! Like, you just shit on the character. The character is supposed to, it's fed off of Eddie's rage and hatred for Peter, and then it had its own rage and hatred towards Peter because Peter shunned it, and it was like this perfect, symbiosis of hate and anger. And it was beautiful. Like, the story was beautiful in the comics. Yeah. This is like, okay, what's some bullshit ass way that we can take to get the fastest way to get him in that fucking suit? And when the goddamn symbiote is telling you, oh, Riot's the coolest motherfucker in town, I was kind of a nerd. Yeah. By the way, my name's Venom. It's like the director, the filmmaker were like, look, okay, he's not related to Spider-Man, but he's got the name Venom. How do fuck it? That's just his name. That's just his name. What does Venom mean on the alien planet? What does Riot mean on an alien planet? What the fuck do those words mean? You know what I mean? Like, it just, and then the scene at the end with the two symbiotes fighting, I thought was sloppy. I thought it was like Batman Begins level bad in terms of, like, you could not tell what the fuck was going on because you have two one black, one kind of dark bluish gray symbiotes fighting at night.
Yeah.
And then again, when they detach themselves from their host and they start fighting, if you watch some of the worst CGI, you can it's like Spider-Man 3 level CGI.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with it until you got to that part where the symbiotes started like splitting all open. You could see like the CGI Tom and Riz in it, and I was like, okay, that's a little weird.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And as far as everything else goes, like Riz Ahmed, I think was fucking brilliant in that HBO miniseries he did, like The Night After, or whatever it's called. Like,
I think it's
he's a really talented guy. Again, why don't you just let him be fucking British? What like? It's not like we don't have, different cultures out here. That fucking guy played an Elon Musk / Donald Trump parody, and it was fucking terrible. He's not menacing. He's not threatening. He's not any of that shit.
Yeah.
And like, it was so bad. Like, get me my symbiote. Like, get the fuck out of here. And like feed her to the symbiote, and like it was just like nobody at the Life Foundation was like, hold up a second, like this motherfucker is just killing people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he's just kind of killing people. Like we can't be a part of this. It's like, yes, sir, Mr. Craig. Honestly, man, like I guess to sum it up, I like Tom Hardy. I like the way he looks in the Venom, look and everything, but. I was thinking to myself, when Venom eats somebody, so when he splits his face and he shows Tom Hardy and says, "We are Venom."
Yeah.
So Venom's mouth obviously does not line up with Eddie's mouth. When Venom eats somebody, like, how does that work?
I don't know. That's the problem. It's like he bites people's heads off, and then that's it. It's like, so how does that function? How does he die? Okay. Yeah.
Well, and then like at the end, this movie's so fucking bad. At the end, the guy, is robbing the store or whatever. He turns into Venom, and that fucking lady is either just about that life. She doesn't even flinch. She's just like, oh shit, and he grabs him and eats the whole fucking body. Which, okay, there's no blood, so I'm like, he must have ate the whole body.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, hey, what was that? Oh, I got a parasite. Okay, like you just watched your friend turn into an 8-foot fucking black monster with gnarled teeth and a tongue and devour another human being in front of you, and you're like, "Here's a free sandwich, thanks a lot." Like, nobody in this movie is acting. They're literally just like reading lines off the page.
Yeah,
it's fucking terrible. And then the mid-credit scene with Woody Harrelson in again, one of the worst wigs I've ever seen in my life. Motherfucker looks like Ronald McDonald.
Oh my god.
I'm down for Woody Harrelson. As Carnage, because if they even let him touch his performance in Natural Born Killers,
thank you.
That's it for me. I was like, that's it, dude. Mickey and Mallory, you throw in no, that's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Take the fucking wig off of him, give him like a red goatee, and stop with the like, it's gonna be Carnage. Like, oh, okay, cool. So your symbiote's name is gonna be Carnage? Was he a nerd too? Or was he a cool kid?
I don't know.
Like, dude, the symbiote went to fucking high school in this movie. I was unpopular, and then hey, I'm gonna destroy your planet. I want to get out of here, but like, I changed my mind. I kind of like you. Fuck out of here.
So, Promise, what was your thoughts on Venom? Is he back? Are you back?
Uh-oh.
I don't know if he's back.
People like us, we need to be responsible.
Well, anyway, it's not.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Okay, so where do I start movies? So I've gone on record in several places that I have been against this movie from the onset for several reasons. One of them being that without Spider-Man, and I've never said that you can't do a movie, because clearly you proved me wrong because you attempted to try. You can do a Venom movie without Spider-Man. My whole argument has always been, I don't think it will be that interesting, because one of the things that made Venom interesting, be it in the comics, cartoons, or video games, is that dynamic with Spider-Man. And without that dynamic, without that drive of revenge, without that perfect cocktail of both of us, we together hate this motherfucker so much, and we found each other in our hate. Without that, Venom is just, standard, generic, goo monster number 15. And again, the movie kind of proved me right, kind of, sort of, a little bit there. That also said, I went in with absolutely lowered expectations. And I pretty much got the film I expected to make the property. Yeah. That said, we were talking a little earlier. Do I feel that is as bad as Green Lantern or Catwoman? No, not even in the slightest. Yeah. Is it as bad as any other really bad comic book movie? I see the people refer to it a lot that it came from a time capsule, like it's from a pre Spider-Man, pre X-Men, pre MCU days, and I can kind of get that vibe. Now that to me necessarily isn't a bad thing. And I feel as if we need to have a come to Jesus moment, us here in nerddom, that, it's okay for, let's not let, great become the enemy of good. It's okay for some movies just to be okay or just, mediocre. And on the overall average, I feel like this is just a very painfully inoffensive, mediocre movie. And you know what? There's nothing really wrong with that on its level. And I feel like a lot of the animosity from this movie from a lot of corners, it could be just a lot of it from give the rights to Marvel. It could also be like a lot of people just went in and wanted to actively hate the movie. And again, I have gone on record in multiple places saying I'm against this movie from the onset, but I didn't let that color my opinion going in. Yeah.
Okay, so
what we have here now, the final product is. So what we have here, the final product is their attempt at building their Spider-Man multiverse, focused on the symbiotes, or focused on Spider-Man adjacent or related characters. Which, by the way, they've already announced. I don't know if you all heard this, that they're going to do Michael fucking Morbius, the living vampire.
Oh, starts filming next year.
Jared, with Jared Leto. So let me just stop there on the onset and say, first of all, Jared Leto is Michael Morbius. That's kind of perfect casting. But let's not. Let's not
jump ahead here.
Settle on that. So this, I mean, I'm pretty sure the man already is a goddamn vampire. So we have the movie, and I feel like it's such a weird fucking anomaly, because if it's clearly a corporate product, like going in from scene one, like this movie has no reason at all to fucking exist, like absolutely zero. The only reason I'm convinced, and you can't tell me otherwise, the reason this movie exists is 1,000% the spite of Avi Arad. And it's totally the only reason this movie happens. Yeah. It's because he is so spiteful. He wanted this movie from years ago, and he's like, I'm not letting Marvel get out another damn character. I want my Venom movie. I want it now. I don't care how it happens. See, Aubrey, this is what happens when you're an old, mean, bitter, spiteful, hateful white man. See what happens? This is what you make. This is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I need to take a minute.
Okay. You know where the movie lost me at? Not lost me completely. So, Joe was saying about, Riot jumping from body to body, to which this movie violated one thing. So, you have Riz Ahmed's character basically saying that, the symbiotes got to get acclimated to the body. I'm fine with the human host is dying. But then you put the caveat that the symbiotes also die too. Okay. How is it that Riot was able to jump body to body and the bodies just function perfectly inside of it? No problem.
Because he's a cool guy.
See, that's what I'm trying to also figure out. Because like me and the woman, we had this discussion on the way back. So I said, okay, so the movie sets up its internal logic is that the symbiotes on their party asteroid, going from planet to planet, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, can we talk about that for a second? So what happens is the spaceship gets to the asteroid, right?
Yeah.
And so like all the symbiotes are like, okay, so these motherfuckers here look tasty. So I'm gonna need you, and you. We're gonna come scope these guys out. And Venom was like, well, can I come along too, guys? Nah, Venom, fuck fuck you fucking nerd. So like, what? So what? So what's the?
Yeah.
Well, here's another observation question for you guys. So, like, the whole "we are Venom" thing, like, we've grown up with that. I love when Venom would say "we." I always love that.
Yeah.
But if you notice, when the symbiote detaches itself from him and is talking to him, it refers to itself as "we." And I was like, what? It's like we were kind of a nerd in high school. And I'm like, wait, what about? You know what I mean? Like, we were kind of a loser on our planet.
He said, we were a loser. I was like, since when?
Well, no, but I'm like, why is the symbiote calling itself "we" if "we" comes from Eddie and the symbiote's bond? So on its own, that's like saying I'm in a couple with myself. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the symbiote refers to itself as "we," even when it's on its own. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, whoever made this movie doesn't understand what symbiosis is. And doesn't understand the "we are Venom" thing. Like, it's not. If you say like "we" and you're by yourself, and then you join with another person, that's not a couple. That's a group.
Yeah.
The Venom is a couple. It's two people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already "we" and you add me, that's like a group. That's us or they.
Yeah.
It's just, I was like, what the fuck? Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We were a loser?
It's just that little caveat with the symbiotes was just bothering me because I'm like, so Riot, because of plot, he can jump body to body, no problem, but you couldn't allow that for the other symbiotes. Like, and it kind of, to me, it put the movie in this, it kind of they wrote themselves into a corner because if you're going to sit there and tell me that the next movie is going to have Carnage, how do you introduce Carnage when all the symbiotes are dead except for Venom? And also the aspect the aspect that Eddie Brock literally had the cops on his ass, had the SWAT team seize his face, transform to Venom, took him out, and he doesn't go to jail at all. Period.
Right, and there's no follow-up, there's no nothing. And people were like, well, maybe, they didn't see him. Like, dude, he's Eddie Brock. Like, he's on TV. People know who the fuck he is. People on the street are telling him,
the police cased his house after that whole spill with him and the symbiote, like, escaping from the dudes, like, them shooting out at his place. Like, so he's not arrested.
So if you want to tell me that this movie exists in a universe that doesn't have Spider-Man and doesn't have any kind of rules and has plot holes all over it and just does shit because it's convenient for the sake of the movie, okay, fine. You know what? It's not my cup of tea. It's not my Venom.
Yeah.
They could still do better, but whatever. Like, I'm not, you guys know me for a while. Like, if I don't like something, it doesn't have to not exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, whatever, I just don't have to participate. Like, I don't give a fuck how cool Carnage is. I'm done with these movies. I'm done. I'm all set.
It's like...
Unless you hire a new director, you rate that shit. And here's the bitch. People are like, it should have been rated R. There's nothing in this movie that being a rated R would have helped.
I mean, other than, we would saw him eating heads, and we would saw Riot literally decapitating people. That's about it.
Or some blood splatter or something. But, like, there's nothing that an R rating would have helped. For instance, like Deadpool. Like, they're going to release this PG-13 cut this year. Who the fuck is asking for that?
It's because
nobody.
It could. Well, Joe, you and I both know that they only did that because they're padding their pockets because they know that Dark Phoenix movie is not going to make them money, so they need something to pad them pockets until this deal goes 100% through and they can write that shit off as taxes in the off season.
Right, but I'm saying is like Deadpool has to be rated R. Logan got it right with rated R.
Yeah.
Finally 20 something years later, but like Venom, the lethal protector, the guy that eats. He eats fucking human beings and living creatures for sustenance. How you go, it's PG-13, so we can stick him in with Spider-Man. How do you explain to Spider-Man that he eats human beings?
I mean, what's weird? I think when we talked about that during the Spider-Man episode, I think I mentioned to you that in Ultimate Spider-Man, the Venom, and I'm pretty sure you played the game too, Venom kind of sort of ate people in that one, but he just sucked their life force and dumped their bodies out. So it's like, even on that end, if this is what they were going for in this movie, it still was just like, you didn't even show anything. You know, and it's like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. That's what they were trying to go for. So it's like, I didn't knock the aspect of Venom eating, but it's just like, I don't know what you're doing here.
But my point is this, like, in the video game, he did that because he was a villain. He was a bad guy. He was a monster, right? In the Ultimate comic books, he was a fucking monster that Peter was trying to stop. Okay, well, you've already established that Venom's kind of not that bad of a guy. He's a swell guy. He's a lethal protector. Yeah. And you want to team him up with Spider-Man. So what are you going to do? Retroactively have him hate Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Or just have like a buddy cop movie? Explain to me how, if they're friends, Peter and Spider-Man condones the fact that you eat people. It's like, it's my problem with the Red Hood.
Yeah.
I can't stand the character because A, I feel like it's a poor man's Punisher, and B, how the fuck do you operate around Batman and he allows you to straight murder people?
Yeah.
It doesn't, well, I got a soft spot for Jason because he died and he came back, so fuck it, he can kill people. It doesn't make any sense. And Batman would stop him. It's the same thing with Venom. So let's say Venom is going to help Spider-Man, take down a bad guy. Spider-Man's going to stop him from eating anybody.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, we're gonna team him up with Spider-Man. How?
Yeah.
How? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't want movies to inherently fail because, like, again, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it doesn't have to exist. But for this one, I was like, I kind of hope it bombs because, like, then Sony would probably give Venom to Marvel at least to play with for a minute.
That is never, ever going to happen again because Marvel owns percentages of Spider-Man characters. They are never letting that shit go.
Nope.
But this is what you get as a result of that. You get a movie that makes no fucking sense, and they're going to try to shoehorn.
I didn't sell Man right, Tony. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
No. But I'm saying, like, it concerns me because they put out movies like this, and the people that were telling me how fucking stupid I am and my opinion sucks are 99% people that don't know what Venom is. They're just like, it's a cool movie, bro. It had motorcycles. Like, okay, so you have that. They went out, movie made a bunch of money, cool. But now it concerns me for, like, Sony's going to be like, see, we're the hottest at the prom again.
Well, when your budget is ridiculously low, basically Sony lowered the bar for themselves already from jump with the budget. So it's like, oh, they were already going to make bank off this because apparently, and this is the dirty secret of it all, apparently this was actually co-produced by China.
That doesn't surprise me.
So off the break, half the budget was on China and the other half was on Sony. So Sony technically only spent $60 million on the movie. They made back their money this weekend.
But what concerns me is this: like, so Venom makes money. We're probably going to get a sequel.
Second weekend notwithstanding, of course, because we don't know what the second week is going for too.
I love the people, and some of these people I recognize are like, see, it's a fucking good movie. I'm like, wait a minute, Batman vs. Superman made a bunch of movies. You guys shit on that. Suicide Squad made a bunch of movies. Shit on that. Like, what's the difference? Oh, well, those movies suck. Okay, cool.
Well, because one says DC and the other has Marvel sticker on it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, whatever, man.
That's why Marvel changed up their opening title and stuff so that nobody got it confused. That was another genius move on Marvel Disney for that. It was like, no, we're not going to have people thinking that our movie is associated with this shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, but like the normies don't care. The normies don't know.
Yeah.
If Venom's making a ton of money, they're more than likely going to announce a sequel in the next couple of weeks, right? So you have Carnage in it, which, like you said, how the fuck does Carnage come into existence? Like, Venom wants to have a baby? You know what I mean?
If Eddie went to jail at the end, okay, fine, cool, got you. It'll be, fine, because that really was how it was in the comics, where Venom, broke Eddie out of jail, and there was a slither of the symbiote that popped on Cassidy, and boom, he became Carnage. All right, but when your movie ends with Eddie literally talking to Cassidy outside the jail cell. I'm like, okay, so how does he become Carnage? And there's nobody to launch a rocket off into space. Yeah.
But again, okay. So think about just consider this. Like Venom makes a bunch of money this week. Sony just again doesn't understand that they're kind of the ugly chick at the prom. They're just standing next to the hottest chick, Marvel. And what concerns me is that this deal with Spider-Man is for only so many movies. Sony might pull him back after that and go, okay, we're going to put him with Venom because now Venom's hot. Venom's the thing. The kids
they have the pull to do it too. So yeah.
Let's say that's the master plan because they only have 5 movies with Spider-Man. So the movies were Captain America: Civil War, Homecoming, the 2 Avengers film, Far From Home. After that, they have to re-up the deal with Sony. And I'm like, knowing how big of a dick Sony Pictures is, they're just gonna quietly pull Spider-Man over to their Sonyverse to confuse the brand and make people think that's affiliated with Disney Marvel.
Exactly. That's my biggest concern, and it's like if you want to have these movies work independently, I said from the get-go, if Peter Parker doesn't exist, use Miles. You know what I mean? Like, people get Miles in a live-action movie. I think that animated movie looks fucking outstanding. So, like, let Miles do his thing over there. But if you want to have an independent thing where Spider-Man's with the Avengers now, and Venom is doing his thing in San Francisco, and Miles is animated, I'm cool with that. Whatever. Yeah. But like you just said, it's not above Sony to be such a fucking dick and Avi Arad and be like, okay, now let's pull Spider-Man back, because then people will think it's almost like Small Picture. If we pull him back, people will think they're all connected. We'll make a little bit of money, and then we'll just have to reboot it in like 5 years, rather than looking at a big picture. I've been saying for years, man, you could have introduced the symbiote in fucking Infinity War. That would have been the perfect opportunity to have that symbiote come into play on alien world that attached itself to Peter, yada, yada, yada. And you just don't want to do that because you're greedy and you're short-sighted. And now you get this bullshit with like, okay, he might exist in our world. And then here's another thing. I was like, all right, first of all, what fucking reporter walks around with a pad of paper reading from it? Like, they're the worst reporter ever.
I mean, reporters do have pad and pens, but yeah, it's not obviously out there.
Name one reporter. Name one fucking reporter on TV that does that. Not one. Not a single reporter sits down or walks with somebody and is literally looking down at a pad of paper and goes, well, it says right here you were doing this. Well, where did it say that? You wrote that shorthand, you asshole. You're not pulling up a dossier offline. Like, you're reading from a notebook that you wrote in. You know what I mean? Like, what are you, the shittiest reporter of all time?
Yeah.
And then,
clearly, because he got fucking chased New York.
From the Daily Globe. Explain to me a 35, 36-year-old man in his relationship with a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Batman does it, but whatever. But
that's because Batman is a fucking psychopath. That's why.
So Venom's mid to late 30s. Okay, Peter's 16 at best.
Yeah, at best.
16. Explain that one to me.
Yeah.
Or just spitballing. They can still have the he hates Peter Parker thing where Peter maybe ruined his life on the YouTube channel. Shit, I don't fucking know. Whatever.
I mean, because it's like he's part of the Daily Globe, and because at first I was like, oh, Daily Globe. I was like, oh shit, that's right. That was like the Daily Bugle's rival newspaper, and I'm like, even then, I'm like, how do you tie that into Spider-Man? Like, Spider-Man fucked him over from his hot scoop or something? I don't know.
Yeah. Let me reach into my nerd brain here for a second. If I remember right, wasn't it that the original story was that Eddie was exposed for lying on his story?
Yeah.
And got fired from the Daily Bugle and got shunned to the Daily Globe. Then didn't Peter do something else that fucked him up on his Daily Globe job?
Something like that.
I mean, you can be real lazy and come up with a reason for Peter exposing the grown ass man and getting him fired, Scooby-Doo style. I mean, that's doable.
Oh no, you know what it was? I think what was it? It was a villain that was like a serial killer, and Eddie revealed the dude's identity, and it turned out it wasn't actually that dude that was the killer, and he got fired because of that shit. And then the cherry on top was Spider-Man literally was like, "Oh, by the way, yeah, Eddie worked for a tabloid magazine and tried to push another angle, and then Spider-Man fucking exposed his ass, and he got fired from there. So it's like you lied twice, basically.
Yeah, persona non grata. So yeah, like even now, if you wanted to, like I said, you can Scooby history and come up with a reason for 16-year-old Peter to get that grown man fired from his job.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I mean, it's like all the symbiotes have died. I don't know how you're gonna do that. The symbiote literally says in the movie, "I can't resurrect anybody from back from the dead," and yet he resurrects Eddie after he gets stabbed in the fucking chest.
Because he loves him. They're a couple. He loves Eddie.
You guys, for a hot second, when they were in that the hospital,
yeah.
First of all, and she turns on the sound from the MRI. I was like, "That's not how MRIs work," by the way. I know people that do MRIs for a living. Like that's not how that works. So like, you don't just crank up a knob, like, and it you know, it's like, yeah, like what the fuck? Okay, but when they said that the symbiote was killing him and it was feeding off of his organs and yada yada yada, the first thing I thought of was like Mr. Negative and like Anti-Venom. Was like, okay, wait a minute, it's healing him. It heals bones and cuts and scrapes and this and this and this, but it's killing him to heal him. Okay, and then it needs to kill people to feed itself, but he doesn't want you to kill It's like, what the fuck? Like,
why couldn't it just be simple as hey, we're together for life and that's it? Boom, done.
And then, like the scientists, quote unquote, at the Life Foundation, if they were like, okay, can we just find a bunch of people, put them in white coats, and give them glasses? Because that's what scientists look like, right?
Yeah, clearly.
They just wear coats and have glasses.
I'm just mad that they tease all these symbiotes.
The Life Foundation.
I'm just mad they tease all these symbiotes. And I'm thinking we were going to get the symbiote family and shit, and nothing.
I did too.
I was like, damn.
I'm pretty sure the separation anxiety from equal.
With what symbiotes, Prime?
There's still that asteroid in space with the party with the camera going on. What are you talking about?
Last I checked, Elon Musk is dead, so who's running Life Foundation? I'm like, okay, so I guess the Life Foundation is done? Is that it?
It wasn't just one scientist who was bothered. Like, the rest of these motherfuckers were just totally 100% cool with this dude. Like, you're essentially working for Mark Zuckerberg, Cobra Commander over here, and only one person had a problem? Only one person. Just one.
I mean, Elon Musk paying them a lot of money, dog. Come on now.
But he promised you guys flamethrowers for Christmas? The fuck?
Must be.
Here's another question for you guys. When the symbiote attaches to its host, right? So like, in the comics, correct me if I'm wrong, the symbiote would create the clothing that Peter or Brock would wear, right?
Yeah, usually whatever fit the bill for whatever they had to do, essentially.
Okay, so basically Peter was naked. He was just wearing the symbiote that would mimic clothing. Okay, so in the movie, when it attached itself to like the EMT worker or the older lady, and it pops out, again, nitpicking, but also like, what the fuck? Like when it attaches itself to the EMT worker and it goes and like bites the head off the eel and is eating the eel, and it shoots out the spikes. I was like, why are there no holes in the clothes? And why do the clothes don't move?
Nah.
Didn't they show a scene when after Eddie broke his leg? Didn't they show a scene where it closed up on his leg, like healing back up, and it was stitching everything back together? Or am I misremembering that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, as far as I could tell, it didn't look like it's crazy.
Cross stitch.
I guess. I mean,
but then how does it generate clothes in the comic book? Nothing matters. Is it whatever?
No, but here's the thing. At the end of the movie, when Eddie is detached from the symbiote, some of his clothing is ripped. So I'm like, wait a minute. Are you like? Do you know how to sew or not? like you can fix organs and shit. Okay, I can kind of buy that because you're attached.
You don't want the host to die. So it's all right.
Right. All right. I get it. Okay. So I'm like, okay, fine. Okay. But when you shoot spikes out, are they on top of the clothes, under the clothes? Why don't the clothes move? Why are his clothes ripped and hers aren't? like this. Okay, you can tell when movies are made by people that care about the material and are familiar with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, Black Panther was made by somebody that cared about that world, that character, say whatever the fuck you want about it, but it to me, it was made with love.
And there was rules attached to it. There was rules in place for what they had to do.
Was made by somebody who was like, I don't know, Venom's cool. Like, it'd be cool if he could make axes and, like, swords, and, like, if he ate people and he fought another person like that, and then there was a rocket. That would be a cool movie.
I mean, apparently,
it's almost like you're saying how. So you're saying how a normie would in a Venom movie is what you're saying.
It's almost no. I'm not even saying that. It's like if I asked my 9-year-old nephew, like, "Hey, what would you want to see in a Venom movie?" This is what we got.
It's like,
if there was like a rocket.
Apparently, Riot power leveled in Final Fantasy, and he could do a bunch of stuff now. I'm like, so Venom, you can't make axe hands and stuff, but Riot can.
No, see, he farmed the other side of the map, man. He got that red drop. It's like 110%. It's the metamorphosis sphere. You didn't see him farm it?
I mean, I seem to remember in Separation Anxiety, basically, they could all basically do the same fucking thing to different degrees. I mean, even like, I think, even Anti-Venom could basically do the same damn thing. So, I'm like...
Yeah, like, also, need we forget, like, one of the reasons Venom has his abilities is because the symbiote copied most of that from people.
Yeah,
I mean...
Yeah, the website. Like, the movie doesn't also... It's like, the powers of Venom is basically... He's just Black Hulk.
He's a goop monster.
Goop Hulk, essentially.
Dude, it's literally... I feel like they sat children down and were like, "Hey, kids, what do you want to see Venom do?" I'm like, "I want to see a rocket and, like, axe hands and swords." Okay, got it. Okay, anything else? I want to see him super strong. Okay, got it. Okay, all that's going to be in the movie. Everything. Perfect. It's like, wait, okay, hold up. So we're going to attach symbiotes to humans and then launch them back into space? What the fuck?
Like, the idea of it is like, okay, I get it. You know, people are fucked Earth up. You know, the symbiotes will make it easier for people to travel in space. Okay, fine. But I still don't get the end game to it. Like, you're going to go back and get more symbiotes off this asteroid that probably moved on to something else.
All right. To play devil's advocate again here.
Yeah.
As far as I read, evil Mark Zuckerberg, his plan was, I'm just doing it for the people of the Earth. I just want everybody to survive in space. And I'm thinking Riot's plan was like, yo, again, these motherfuckers look so tasty. Let me bring the boys through and crack open a couple of skulls with them.
Simple to the point.
So... I mean, so maybe I'm thinking maybe Riot is just like, yeah, I want the symbiotes to bond with totally. Yeah, I'm totally on board with you. I'm so going to eat every motherfucker I see, and it's going to be delicious.
Yeah.
That's what I interpreted to be. Like, I thought Riot was just playing the guy along because he kept saying, this is the plan. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. He said, you mean we? And Riot was like, yeah, we. Yeah.
I mean, because even the kicker with, like, the revised origin in the comics now where... the symbiotes are in line with, like, the Celestials and stuff. It still goes back to...
I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah, but it still goes back to they're still a planet of symbiotes, not an asteroid. So why did we change it to just an asteroid of symbiotes now? You know, again, nitpicking, but it's like... comic book. Yeah, you know. And it's like... I said as much when I did the review of it. I said, you know what? To be honest with you, I did kind of sort of like the Eddie in Venom dynamic when they're talking and stuff. Like, I did enjoy that to an extent.
One of the things that made the movie bearable.
Yeah. You know, it's like, all right.
Most of that was Tom Hardy.
Yeah, because he did a good job of playing a guy that's scared shitless of this thing that's inside of him. It's like, all right, cool. You know, it works. You know, so
yeah, and if anything, if any positivity I can give to the movie is that I feel like it nailed Venom's voice as a character. That's clearly 90s Venom. That is like 100%. Yeah, that's some shit Venom has said in the comic book. That's, and I feel like a lot of people, especially like critics, that disconnect. is Venom has always been just a tonal mess of a character, like always.
Yeah,
just been all over the place since day fucking one. So him being kind of wacky and goofy, and with also the cannibalism, I'm like, that's Venom. That's the character. That's him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I think that in the 90s when he was, I always saw him as like more of a tragic character, because you have, I mean, the animated series from the 90s kind of, did it quickly, but even they had like a 6 fucking episode arc or whatever. But I mean, you have
Venom was 3, but Eddie was throughout the season 1. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, man. Even in Spectacular Spider-Man, I mean, it was very bro, but it was better than this bullshit.
Just to add to that, though, I would say Spider-Man Unlimited had a more tragic Eddie. That was like, okay, so Eddie and that whole aspect of Eddie being with the symbiote so long that without it, like, he actually can die. I was like, okay, that is.
But that's my.
Yeah.
That's from the comics. Yeah, so he the backstory is steeped in tragedy and is steeped in that thirst for revenge. But in the execution, even in the 90s, like with the cringy cannibal dialogue, like that's Venom. He was so consistently intonally all over the place. Like, he started off as an intimidating villain, then he turned into fucking mid-movies Freddy Krueger with a really weird dialogue, trying too hard to be funny. And also there was that consistency where they wanted to be a villain, but he's so popular and popular characters can't be villains, so let's just kind of make him an anti-hero for sure because people like him.
Yeah, comics did too.
I mean, sure, comic books. That's what you do. You take good villains and you make them anti. Fuck.
That's the point, though. I mean, it's like I swear to God, when we walked out of the movie, I was like, "Oh, God damn it!" And another thing about it is like, I like Eminem, but Jesus Christ,
man, listen.
Yeah, I wanted to.
I want to know.
I enjoy M, but that fucking song.
Yo, I want to know. Did that check clear for him and Woody Harrelson? I'm looking at Woody Harrelson like, yo, how much did Sony pay you? Did that check clear, dog?
Here's a question. So I don't know if I said this, but I have a question about Woody Harrelson there, Cletus. So Cletus, in that straight jacket, who the fuck is doing your puff and your volume there, buddy? So, when you get your daily meals, does a hairdresser come in and spray you with some conditioner and some sheen there? Because there is no way in hell in a straight jacket you getting that much fluff, that much fucking volume. No way in hell.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I was trying to explain to my chick, and she just wasn't hearing it. She's a little stubborn, but like she would walk out, and I was like, she's like, I really liked it. And I'm like, ugh. And she's like, no, it was good. Come on. I'm like, it wasn't. And she's like, but he's a good anti-hero. And I'm like, that's the fucking thing. Like, now it's everything's got to be anti-hero. Everything is a fucking, this guy I like because it's like Venom. And I was trying to explain it to her, and she's like, I don't care because I'm right and you're wrong. And it was like, you're missing the whole tragedy of Venom. Like, Venom in the comics, he had cheesy dialogue and shit. It was the 90s and blown out hair and whatnot. But, like, the crux of Venom is a tragic character. That's why when he, at the end, Agent Venom or joins with the Guardians or shit like that, even though it's not the same character as Brock, or like joins up with Matt Gargan, you're like, okay, I get it.
It was quite possibly the worst Venom when you really think about it.
Probably, yeah, he was the worst Venom, but I really like Sinister Spider-Man. That was a good 6 issues.
Yeah.
Like it to me it was. Okay, so you're going to do Carnage next. Cletus Cassidy's a fucking serial killer. I mean, he's worse than Bundy, he's worse than Gacy. How the fuck do you do that in a PG-13?
Oh.
Early.
The same. That same shit I've been saying for years. Like, you can't Carnage without a hard R. I'm sorry, but you can't. The Joker, you can kind of get around that, but
but the argument
Carnage
that I heard
is steeped in that.
The argument that I heard from this, right? And I had to push back on it. Well, the 90s cartoon did it, and Ultimate Spider-Man did it. I'm like, but pause there, guys. The 90s Spider-Man cartoon, the problem with that Carnage is that they basically made Cletus Cassidy just crazy Venom. There was nothing sadistic about him. They never made him kill anybody. It was just like...
Also, the problem with the 90s Spider-Man is Spider-Man never threw a fucking punch to hit anybody.
That's true. He never, and they use lasers instead of actual guns too. So it's like you can't. And even in Ultimate Spider-Man, they didn't even do. They did the Ultimate Spider-Man Carnage where it was just like he didn't kill anybody. It was just an offshoot of the Venom suit and stuff. It was weird. So it's like.
But
did you see the quote?
These are children's cartoons.
Did you see
these are children's cartoons?
And this is what the fear is. Did you see the quote that AVA Red put out when they asked him about Carnage? Right.
Oh my! I can only imagine. What the fuck did this guy say?
When you and I quote, "When you Carnage, the only thing you can think of is R. But if you know his story, if you really know the comic, there's no R here. He's a tortured soul. It's not about what he does because we never have to show the knife going from here to there and the blood is pouring. What you have to show is what is the motivation. Was he born like that, or is he someone we should feel for? Because if you're succeeding in making a villain someone you can feel for, jackpot."
I'm gonna kidnap this motherfucker and I'm gonna force him to read Maximum Carnage. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna misery this motherfucker and he's gonna read Maximum Carnage. I'm gonna strap his ass to a bed. I'll even be nice. I'll maybe get it on Comixology so it'll be the guided reading view while I have him tied down. But he's gonna fucking read Maximum Carnage. And I'm gonna ask him again. So about that PG.
They're literally telling you, hey, so we have this character who's, in this universe, one of the worst serial killers of all time, right? And we want you to feel bad for him. Okay, well, listen, man, you, in the real world, we try to understand the nature versus nurture because we want to prevent, more killers from coming out.
Yeah, that's why we have the Make the Killer TV show or podcast and shit where you're like, oh, how did this person get to where they got to? It's like, all right, cool, I guess, but
Dude, I went to school for 2 years to study criminology because I wanted to be the guy that caught, them when I was younger. Like, that was my whole thing. And you start to learn how they think, and, that's the whole thing. Is you try to understand them, to sympathize with them. But,
you don't sympathize. You understand, but don't justify. You can, I can see where you're coming from, but what you're doing is still fucking wrong.
No, but a lot of justification is like this. Like Bundy. He killed... If you look at his victims, they all kind of look the same. Why? Because he was turned down by a woman with dark hair, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So that's who he killed. That's kind of his MO. I mean, it goes deeper into it, with psychology and stuff like that. But, if you look at the surface thing, you're like, I don't sympathize with that motherfucker. We've all been turned down. We've all been hurt. You just chose to massacre women. There's no justification. There's no oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
Javier Rock, watch a fucking documentary, dude. Listen to a podcast. If you had done Cletus Cassidy as he should be, the fucking... He's not even Dahmer because Dahmer was kind of a docile serial killer.
Oh, yeah.
This fucker is the Joker and Freddy Krueger.
Oh, yeah.
He likes torturing people. He likes killing people. He's a different kind of serial killer. And now you're telling me, okay, well, we can put him in PG-13 because we want you to sympathize with him and we want you to feel bad for him. Right.
I'm yo, did y'all guys read Carnage USA? This dude literally... Even when him and Eddie didn't have the symbiotes at one point, he was still about ready to... He was still trying to murk people. That dude's fucking crazy.
You give a silly killer a living fucking knife, and you're gonna tell me you want that movie to be PG? Get the fuck out of my face.
Oh, man. It's come on.
Get out of my face.
Even if it's if Deadpool and Logan said anything, it's look, I think... Even with Logan with it being rated R, it still made money. That's the thing. It still made money because I really think there were little kids that went to go see Logan. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I really think I really think there was about some 7, 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds that saw Logan and saw Wolverine slash some dudes and all that stuff. Oh, what you about to say, Brian?
Yeah,
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, that's the nature. We've all seen movies we're supposed to. I saw Terminator 2 and shit. So like that, it does happen.
Dude, I was 7 years old and saw Predator 1. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. This.
And we do shit. I saw Porky's when I wasn't fucking supposed to, but the kids they seek out those fucking films.
It's like
I got you, dude. I was like 10 when my mom showed me fucking Sounds of the Lambs.
Oh man, listen, that shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but see, look at like Hannibal Lecter. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect example. That movie sets him up as a guy in the beginning. They tell you what he's done, but when you meet him, he's a character that's there to help. And the way that Anthony Hopkins portrays him and plays him, I mean, we know who he is and what he's done, but you kind of do like him for the first part of the movie. You're like, all right, he's charismatic, he's smart, he's this, he's that.
Yeah.
And then when he breaks out and you get to see what he's capable of, then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill really didn't do anything in the movie except fucking dance and taunt people, and we were like, he's the villain. Anthony Hopkins straight up fucking ripped a guy's face off and put it on his.
Side note, that's kind of like what makes... Because, I know Con Air is a very, like, comedy movie and stuff, comedy action movie and stuff, but it's like, everybody laughs at Steve Buscemi's character playing, like, poker at the end of that movie and shit because he escaped. I'm like, hey, guys... He's like a Hannibal Lecter killer. Why are we laughing? Like, this isn't a joke, man. He's gonna kill people in Vegas. I hope you know this. This is not funny.
Well, and remember the scene of him with the little girl, and you're like,
yeah. It's like, granted, yeah, he let the little girl go and stuff, but I think that was like kind of like a red herring kind of thing, just for the sake of the movie. But still, it's like you can't with Carnage, like you said earlier. I was all like, oh, if they're going to go like Natural Born Killer with Woody Harrelson as Carnage, shit, you got my fucking money. Because that's...
Yeah, exactly.
But like you say, this quote, though, it's like, you clearly are not going that direction, are you, movie? We're not doing that, huh?
No, they're going to give you... Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a PG-13 movie with a lot of quippy, pretending to be funny dad jokes between two symbiotes.
And jump cuts of killing.
Yeah, and jump cut of like, from the waist above of Cassidy killing somebody or whatever, and all this bullshit. And it's like, I don't want to see Carnage. Yeah, I get that Carnage to me is almost like Freddy Krueger. Like, he wants to taunt you and fuck with you and hurt you, but he'll tease you while he does it. And like, okay, I'm down with that, but let him do what he does. And I don't want to see a movie where you have Venom and Carnage competing over who has the best one-liner. You know what I mean?
Like Deadpool nice up, hair. It's like,
why? Yeah, it's stupid. And dude, they tried to make the Punisher PG-13 twice, and it didn't work out. No.
Finally, hold on. Which one was PG-13? I just know the Thomas Jane one. I'm
sorry. The first one.
Yeah,
I was
about to say. Yeah.
Okay,
R shit.
Right, but it took Disney to make it a proper, our Punisher that we all know. The Punisher in the TV show, to me, I'm like, all right, that's Punisher.
Gave him a TV show because it was like, oh, we can't cram everything in the movie, so just put him in a TV show.
Right. So, I don't know, man. It's like Sony, they're so short-sighted with things. Like, okay, Venom's popular now, so let's just get this going. Fuck it, we'll make it PG-13. We'll do this. Kids will love it. We can sell action figures.
Well, they can't really sell action figures because that's on, the Disney side, since they got the licensing and the merchandise.
Did you notice that there was a Venom toy line that came out about 6 months ago?
Yeah. I remember, yeah.
Not necessarily tied to the movie.
No. That was all Disney. Like, all right, yeah, Marvel, go ahead and put a toy out. It's not tied to the movie. Just put out a Venom, and we're just gonna rake in all that money.
No, I know, but
they ain't stupid now.
You would go to the Target, and it was like, Venom and shit. I know it's not tied to the movie, but you can literally buy a Venom and Carnage playset now on clearance for like $6.
Yeah.
And the toys are terrible. They don't. There's no posability, nothing. But it was just like, all right. I get that you want to sell Venom toys, and I get that you want to sell Carnage. I get it. I totally understand. I'm not saying there shouldn't be toys or anything like that, but what I'm saying is, like, when you tell me that you're going to make a PG-13 movie with two characters, one of which that eats people, the other of which that kills people when he's human, and then does worse shit when he's the alien, and kids are gonna love it. Kids are gonna love it. I'm like, I mean, what kind of fucked up kids are you talking about here? I was probably one of those fucked up kids. I would.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I can't even sit there and say these kids are fucked up. It's like, oh, I'm fucked up too. Just saying.
I mean, I'm super fucked up, but like, it doesn't have to make sense because they're making money. And that's the thing. You know, on my Instagram, I actually ended up deleting most of the comments, but. You know, fuck you with your horrible opinions, and you don't know what good movies are, and this and this, and I'm like, dude,
but you know
what I mean? Like, first of all,
yeah,
okay. So let's back it up. Just because you enjoy something doesn't necessarily mean that it's good.
Look, all three of us like garbage movies. All right, let's not get the shit.
And I totally recognize
we all like garbage.
Like, oh yeah, this movie's totally shitty.
We all love garbage.
Like,
that's what people have to admit. After
that, I understand you're saying the things that you like. I mean, there's nothing wrong with passion. There's nothing at all wrong with passion. But I'm gonna need you to die that shit just a tiny bit, bro. Slowly roll.
Yeah.
Just because you like it, that doesn't make it good.
No.
You find it enjoyable, that's 100% cool.
Yeah. I definitely would not put it as a 2018 best movie though. Fuck no.
Oh hell no. But then I like this. Like,
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's like. They're like, well, you only hate the movie because you were hating on it from the beginning. I'm like, look, okay, here's the common misconception with the X-Men movies and shit like that. I want all of these movies to succeed because I'm a fan of the genre. I'm a fan of the source material. I love the X-Men. I love Venom. I love all these movies. I mean, characters. Like, these are the characters that I grew up with. I want these movies to succeed and make billions and billions of dollars. But when they're not good, it's almost like it hurts me like double because I know how good they can be. You know, we've all read Maximum Carnage or whatever, Separation Anxiety and all that, Carnage USA. We've all read that shit. That's how good it can be. But then we've all seen other iterations where you're like, Jesus Christ. And that's how bad it can be. So, like, the X-Men, I was trying to explain the other day because somebody was like, what do you like the X-Men? I'm like, dude, there is nothing in these movies that screams The X-Men were a representation for civil rights, you know, for the oppressed and for, like, the hated and the persecuted. There's nothing in these fucking movies, not one thing, that gives me that feeling. Yeah, in X-Men 1, you have the Registration Act and all this bullshit. Like, there's nothing in these movies that conveys that. Professor X and Magneto are Martin Luther King and fucking Malcolm X. That's what they are.
Look, Matthew Vaughn, I think Matthew Vaughn had something going in First Class because you saw the fucking bigotry a little bit in that movie. And I was like, all right, cool. There's something there, right? And then Days of Future Past just shit the bed. And then Days of Future Past just said, did shit the bed and there was nothing. It's like, so we're not going to keep going with that logic that people don't like mutants. Fuck.
Right, and like, and that's the point. Is like, you know, the X-Men are tragic characters because they do the right thing even though they're hated on. And you know, and I was telling my friend, I was like, you know, Professor X, Magneto, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, exact same. They're working for the same goal, just going completely different ways about it. And that's why, you know, Magneto and Professor X sit down and play chess. You know, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King didn't fucking hate each other. They were just, you know, had different ideals. So, like, I was explaining this, and I'm like, that's how good these things can be. You know, with these deep, resonating undertones. With Carnage and Venom, and they're not as deep because they're not, you know, they're fucking just both white dudes. But, you know, Venom is inherently a tragic character. Mm-hmm. Carnage, to a degree, could be somewhat of a tragic character, albeit, you know, ramped up to fucking 50 and he's just batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But when you strip all that away from them and you just give me like dad jokes and quips and fucking, you know, even when Eddie was riding a motorcycle with his jacket open, I was like, who the fuck rides a motorcycle like that? Assholes.
You always wear like tight jackets because that wind is gonna suck you right off that motorcycle. And I'm like, he rides a motorcycle like an asshole.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we've all seen good versions of these characters. That's why we love them. So when we see bad versions, it's like, oh, dude. And then some people just, they can't understand it. Like, you hate that character. No, I don't. I fucking love Venom. Love him. You know, I love Carnage. I love the X-Men. I love the Fantastic Four. But I just can't, I can't be like, well, and then this is what I get a lot on Instagram. You should just appreciate it for what it is. I'm like, dude, that's second place trophy fucking mentality.
But I think
like it because it exists.
And that's the thing that, like, that was the thing that it immediately kicked in my head of what this was. It's like, okay, so it does kind of like, because you can say, that's why I compared it to Ghost Rider, because I remember, and don't get it twisted, I was part of that group of people and stuff, like when we got those Blades and the X-Men movies and even the Fantastic Four movies and stuff. I think on a visual level, the reason why those movies made the money they made, particularly when it came to like Ghost Rider and the Fantastic Four movies and Daredevil and stuff, we were just on a visual level like, well, shit, the characters are in the movie. It realized in a way. So we were satisfied with that. But then we look back on this like, well, it didn't really have much meat to its bones. I mean, Daredevil had some issues in terms of how they were plotting the story and stuff. Elektra was just a fucking mess. I don't know what the hell they were trying to do with that movie and stuff. To me, it really came off like it should have been a Daredevil sequel more so than about Elektra. That's just me.
Right.
The Fantastic Four movies, it was kind of like, well, it's better than the Roger Corman movie, I guess, but that's a low bar, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, and they fucked up Doom, like, fuck, man, I'd never seen a film series that actually fucked up Doom like 3 times in a row. Like, I mean,
hey, we don't talk about that.
I know. So
although
I'm gonna say, hold on now, I'll give Roger Corman this. He got Doom right.
Oh yeah, Petty Doom. Yeah, you're right. Petty Doom. You're right. Petty Doom.
Petty as fuck. He was petty as fuck.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. Twice they fucked up Doom. Twice they fucked him up. So all right, yeah, you got that. So it's just like I think we were just enjoying the fact that, well, they got fucking the dude from the Shield as the Thing, and he looks like the Thing. I mean, even in that third Fantastic Four movie, I like the Thing in terms of the visual look, even though I was like, I wish that he had like the Fantastic Four pants or some shit or something. That would have been a nice touch, but didn't get that, but whatever. But it's just like, it has to be more. Because there's a reason why, whether you like the movies or not, everybody liked Ant-Man, because it wasn't just Marvel saying, hey guys, we got Ant-Man, he shrinks, and that's it. It's like they made you care. Like, I mean, it's to the point to where everybody loves Luis more than they like Scott Lang. You know, because it made it's like they made you care about the characters and the story. You cared to an extent, but you cared about a lot of the characters that it basically made the story go really well. Even in Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's like, oh shit, I like Louise, I like, Wasp, she was dope as shit, and it carried that story, And I think the problem with Venom is like, if they at least on the bare minimum made you give a shit about all these characters, it would have carried the story more, and I would have been able to at least ignore it to an extent. And that's the problem.
Yeah,
like I don't care about.
And I kind of want to, I kind of want to give a little credit to Venom. Like, I don't really give a shit about any other characters except for Eddie.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is on Tom Hardy carrying that movie on his damn back.
Oh man.
Because I kind of felt bad for him. Like, well, he let his own fucking hubris ruin his own fucking life.
I think
you could have just not. You could have just not done any of that dumb shit you just did. Because with the situation you're in now, you made that bad. It's entirely your fault. Mm-hmm. But he looked so pathetic and so pitiful. I couldn't help but go, "Oh man, that sucks."
Hey, I mean, when his own girlfriend was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving you because you're an asshole," and I was like, you know what? This is probably the first time in a long time that I can say a movie actually got the dynamics of that right, where it's like, oh, the girlfriend actually has a reason to leave the girl.
I'm totally on her side. I'm like, she is 1,000% right. She even asked him.
And didn't even get back with him at the end of the movie. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay with this new guy. He's a doctor. It's cool. We're good, right? All right, cool.
And what I can commend the movie for, it's like they didn't make the new boyfriend like an asshole. You know how movies, like Hollywood movies, they'll make him like a typical jerk, like maybe he hits him or cheats on her, or maybe she's just sleazy. But like, no, he's a good dude. Nothing wrong with him.
He's cool with Eddie. and all the shenanigans.
Cool guy. He's a cool Greg.
You know, again, I wish they did more with him where he was more involved, but the fuck can you do? You know, it's just...
But the thing is,
if they were fucking thinking...
What do you say?
It's almost, I didn't mean to interrupt, it's almost like taking from Ant-Man. You know what I mean? Like the relation that Scott has with his wife and then her new husband or whatever. Like, you like that guy, and he likes Scott. And it's like, hey, you know, that shit exists.
Yeah.
We don't have to hate everybody. But the one thing that Prime said is, like, don't let great become the enemy of good. He's 100% right.
Yeah.
However, to me, this is not a good movie. Like, good is Iron Fist Season 2. It's good. It's not great. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay? So, like, all right, great to me so far has been, like, The Punisher or Daredevil. There's levels to that. Like, I think The Punisher and Daredevil are far above Iron Fist, but it doesn't mean Iron Fist is shitty. You know what I mean? I don't have to hate on one to like the other. But to me, this is not a good movie. This is a movie that happened that could have been good, had the makings to be good. You have, you know, a huge star that seems to like the character. It's now, who knows? Maybe we have an instance of the sequel being better than the original. Maybe.
It depends on who they get. If they give them free reign, that's the compete.
That's also how hard can they stave off Avi Arad's fucking pettiness. Like I said, this movie had no other reason to exist, but that motherfucker is petty.
Right, and it's just, it's like, I don't understand why we live in a day and age now still where, oh, well, you just hate something to hate it. You should just appreciate it for what it is. And I was like, okay, well, what is it? Explain to me what it is. Well, it's a Venom movie. Yeah, well, so was Spider-Man 3.
And look, you know, if the bar is low, that's why I was like, it feels like the bar was so low. Because here's my thing. Again, we all like bad stuff, right? But I feel people are pulling at strings to try to find a reason to justify Venom and try to say it was good. And it's like, you don't have to. Just say, okay, I enjoyed it, but it was bad. And nobody will have a problem with that. It's like, okay, yeah, we all like bad shit. That's just the way
I've seen before I even continue, let me just stand on this thing. Like, I give this movie at the most a C-. Is whatever. It's, like I said, it's inoffensive, it's mediocre, whatever. It wasn't really particularly well crafted. Like I said before, Tom Hardy carried the movie on his back. Could have been better, but easily could have been a lot worse. C-. Maybe if you twist my arm, maybe a low B. And that's if you're twisting me. Like, C+ at the most. Cool. Maybe.
Yeah. You know,
but that said, I have seen such as like this, like I'm gonna try to say earlier, like I've seen such a huge divide on both sides of people, you know, justifying reasons to like it, justifying reasons to hate it, and I'm like, it's just a fucking video movie. Why are you all standing on these hills trucking spears at each other? What the fuck?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige looked at Venom. Honestly, you know, he ain't gonna outright say it. He had the freaking conceited face, just like, yeah, that's y'all thing. So y'all have fun with that. Cause I mean, I remember because you remember when Pascal was all like, "Yeah, this takes place in the MCU," and Feige looked at her like,
"Did you see his face?
What are you talking about?"
Did you see his face in that interview when she went off script? Did you see his face?
Man,
like, did say what?
He's like,
"Excuse you?
We're not associated with this. What are you talking about?"
Don't put my name on this.
No, but you know what's the kicker? It's like this. Now I'm scared. Like, I'm not scared for Morbius because I think you could do a Morbius standalone because it could possibly work to an extent. Like, possibly, even though it's gonna be kind of like me. Like, so where's Blade at? But that's whatever.
So here's me. Midnight Suns or no dice.
Listen. So you got that, and then I'm fearing the fact of questioning them on why they split up Silver Sable and Black Cat and try to make them their own individual movies
at all.
Like, because it's like,
why are you trying to make those movies at all?
You could possibly do a Silver Sable and Black Cat movie together. There's going to be some angling that you're going to have to do, but it could work, especially coming off of Spider-Man, the video game, and she has her own. Like, you can make it to where she has her fucking squad of fucking soldiers trying to hunt down Black Cat. That could be an interesting angle there to an extent, right?
And you know what? I'm gonna agree with you there, and I'm gonna say, because I'm such a giant Spider-Man mark, if the people who were making it, actually gave a shit, the Spider-Man cast of characters, even without Spider-Man or Spider-Man tangentially or Spider-Man related adjacent to the movies, you can build a pretty confident universe around it if the people making it gave a shit.
But here's the kicker though too.
So like you.
How do you do a Kraven the Hunter movie though with those Spider-Man? That's the one that pissed me off, because I was like, the only way you could do it is if you have the only way it works is if Kraven rolls in the fucking San Fran on the rumor of Venom is around and he's hunting Venom. Maybe you get something on that one.
And I'm a huge fan of Kraven. Kraven's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. I feel like he's a strong enough character to carry a movie by himself with Spider-Man in it. Like he can be the sole villain in the Spider-Man movie, but why would you want him to carry whatever? Nothing matters.
I know that's the thing. It's like I look at all the characters and it's like, well, Morbius. Thank God you got Jared Leto. He has presence to him, because look, only Jared Leto could sit there and rock with that Suicide Squad Joker, and it's like it seemed like he put his heart into that shit. And fuck it,
he came to work.
Yeah, he came to work.
I'm gonna say, regardless of the outcome, at least we can say Jared, his weird ass, he came to work.
Yeah,
he came to do showed up.
Yeah,
he was there. I see you, Jared.
He went there. He reminded me of Robert Downey in Tropic Thunder with the methodology acting with Joker and shit. Like he tried to go all in on that, and it's like, hey dog, at least you tried, man.
Hey, I mean, you know what the hustle, man.
You know what the shitty part is? If you think about Morbius, okay, so Michael Morbius, scientist, yada yada, we're not going to get into that shit. And
do you think they're not going to do scientist Michael Morbius?
I think they'll kind of hint at it, or it'll be like bullshit Hollywood Venom scientist, where it's like he's got glasses and wears a coat, but he's super weird, and on the weekends he likes to listen to rock, and he,
my god,
you know what I think that Morbius, I think it's honestly going to be?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be honestly, and I'm calling this today. I'm making my prediction. It's going to be a poor man's Sony Crow.
You heard it here, folks. October 9th, 2018.
Just fucking threw up in my. There's bowel in the back of my throat right now.
9th,
you're gonna get.
Here's so angry right now. I'm so fucking mad.
Here's what, because listen, Jared Leto is essentially fucking Eric Draven that made it. Like,
oh my god,
Jared Leto.
Jesus, yeah.
Listen to me. I've been thinking about this. Jared Leto, good looking, rich. Seems by all accounts he seems to be a nice guy. He's a rock star. He's a movie star. He's talented as fuck. He's super talented.
Yeah.
When you get Jared Leto is at a point now in his career. When you sign Jared Leto onto a movie, you get fucking Jared Leto, and he becomes the Joker. Okay, the Joker has tattoos and teeth and all those mannerisms, in part because of David Ayer, who admits he went overboard, but also in part because of Jared Leto. If you look at these characters that he played or is going to play, they're essentially himself. They're different aspects of himself with the volume turned up. The Joker is if like he went batshit crazy and became a murderous psychopath. But it's essentially Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Michael Morbius is supposed to be this brilliant scientist, yada, yada, and he's a tragic character, not unlike, a Dracula.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, when you get Jared Leto, who I agree visually is perfect, Jesus hair, all that shit, what you're going to get, maybe it's like, okay, Jared, we want you to be Michael. Okay, cool. He's a rock star, and he becomes a vampire. No. Well, hold on. Michael Morbius is actually a scientist, but he's got to be a rock star, and he's got to become. No. Okay, but he's a scientist. Okay, fine. He's going to be a scientist, but his real passion is music, and he's going to only just be a scientist, a brilliant scientist, because that's whatever pays the bills. But he wants to be a rock star and a musician, yada yada yada. And then he suffers from this disease and blah, blah. Okay, now all I'm hearing is like, are you guys doing this?
I'm going to need you to stop, because I'm just getting more and more angry. I'm so mad right now.
When this was announced, my first reaction was everyone was bitching about that Crow reboot. There's your Crow reboot right there. That's what this is. This is the Crow reboot that nobody else could do except for Sony and Jared Leto. I'm telling you right fucking now. I'm telling you right now. I
swear to God, Joe, if it happens.
I'm gonna punch you in the dick. I'm sorry, but you gotta get punched in the dick. You put that out in the world. You gotta get punched in the dick. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. Like I was thinking about this, and I'm like,
I gotta be honest with you, Joe. I would literally email Sony this podcast episode with the timestamp and be like, "You need to run my boy Joe his money right now."
Yeah. Tell Sony they can send me that check because I fucking love Jared Leto. I think he's outstanding. I think his Joker is underappreciated, and I really hope everyone's talking about Joaquin Phoenix and like
Joaquin Phoenix is going Joaquin Phoenix the shit out of that Joker. That's why I was like, I'm not knocking that so much. I'm like, Joaquin Phoenix is fine. I'm just not keen on the idea of what they're going for with that movie. But whatever,
Yeah, but like,
you're not ready for sympathetic Joker. You're not ready to see the tragic. Like, oh, he's just a sad man on the inside.
No, yeah, exactly.
You're not ready for that.
But like, Joaquin Phoenix, is going to Joaquin, which I'm like, cool. I'd like to see his interpretation, and I like that it's kind of like an Elseworlds. But make no mistake about it. Make no fucking mistake about it. If this Joker movie comes out and absolutely kills it, and critics love it, and he's considered the next Heath Ledger, they will find a way to try to coax him back into a Batman universe.
You know what? Side note, though, before I'll let you continue, Joe. That movie with Joaquin Phoenix seems like that fits more with Nolan's vision than anything else.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You're absolutely right. I mean, he even kind of looks like Leto with the hair. He's got the long hair and shit like that. I love the suit. I like that it's that 70s kind of suit look, too. I like that. But right now I'm like, all right, Joaquin Phoenix is a fucking tremendous actor. If he wants to put his interpretation of the Joker out there and it's just its own thing, much like they should have done with Venom. If they wanted to say Venom exists, but it's its own thing and we're going to do our spin, okay, fine. That's cool. I don't know how the fuck you have this movie and don't involve Batman in some degree, but whatever. My point being, Jared Leto is that kind of actor now. He's an Academy Award winner. He's a legit rock star, etc., etc. He can call the shot. It's like, you want me to play this character? This is how we're going to do it. And he 100% will put his own personality into that character. And so I was just going to call him Eric Draven. Michael Morbius will have a ton of characteristics that Jared Leto will have. I would assume to say that, was it 30 Seconds to Mars or whatever, will be on the soundtrack or some kind of fucking
Imagine
something.
Dragons.
It's just Sony is like throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, and they're like, well, we got Jared Leto, okay, and he's going to play Morbius. Okay, if you said he's going to be Morbius in a Spider-Man movie, oh my God, take my money. Morbius in a new Blade movie, take my fucking money.
Yeah.
Take it all.
I just don't know what they're going to do, because it just reminds me of what Sony was doing prior to all this with and you're going to get an Aunt May solo movie. I'm like, no.
They meant Mayday. I'm still standing by that. They meant Mayday. They meant Spider Girl.
Sure about that?
That's what they meant.
Sure about that, sir?
Look, I will down this. Like, they're not that damn stupid. I mean, they stupid as fuck, but they're not that damn stupid.
You weren't ready for that sealed Aunt May solo movie, sir?
Look, she was rolling around in World War II. Let me stop.
Okay, let me ask you this, because this is what I'm waiting for. Both of you guys have played and beaten the Spider-Man game?
Yeah.
Oh, naturally.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right, just make sure. Okay. So we all know how it ends with a post-credit scene and everything like that. We did a whole podcast on it. So check this out. I can't wait for this. Venom comes out. Some people like it. Some people hate it. I'm not a fan. I don't think any of us here are a fan of it. Watch Insomniac be like, oh, you saw that Venom? Check out our Venom in the next game. And just drop the fucking mic on how to handle Venom in a serious... Because the game has got a serious tone.
Oh, that would be the ultimate of petty. It really would. It'd be like, oh, okay, so yeah, you're right. That man, if that's like secret DLC too, that man.
No, there's no. You can't see. everyone told me you got to do Venom. You can't do Venom as DLC. You can't do Venom in a movie. Like, they should do the next Spider-Man Homecoming with Venom. Like, dude, Venom alone, to me, needs a 2 to 3 picture, like, arc. You know what I mean? To, like, flesh him out properly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the Spider-Man game, they clearly hint at the symbiote. They clearly fucking hint at the symbiote, you know, keeping Harry alive. So Venom's already in play, and one of the producers of the game said you can't put him in DLC. He's above DLC.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, the next game, let's say it comes out in 2020, 2021. That sounds so far away. Look at what that game did for these characters. I mean, you could make an argument that it's some of the best interpretations of these characters that have ever been put out in any medium.
Yeah.
Ever. To me, that's the best looking Doc Ock I've ever seen. Like, that's Doc Ock to me. But wait till they get a hold of Venom. And it's behind Disney and Marvel, and they're like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. You did this game, it's perfect. Let's see what you got on Venom. And then you stack that up against this movie. That's what I tell my girl. See that game right there? That's what the fuck Venom is. Watch this game, play this game, and tell me that's not better than that fucking movie. And that's why, like, to me, I kind of don't care about this movie, because now with games being as like immersive and deep and rich as they are, fuck this movie. I can play Venom in a couple of years, or at least play against him.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because it's like the narrative was like, someone was like, well, you didn't like it because it wasn't MCU. It's like, no. I'm open if you're gonna do something different. It's just you gotta like, if you're gonna be bold enough to say we're going to do this, you gotta execute that shit at least competently, to where I can just be like, all right, fine, you're doing something different, whatever. That's my thing. And it's just, I don't feel the movie executed it like it should have. You know, and that's
did not.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Because if it at least competently executed it, it'd been like, okay, all right, fine, it is what it is. You made your money and stuff. Cool, you know, and that's why I kept telling people, it's like, okay, you got away with Venom, you lucked out on that, but again, how do you do Kraven the Hunter? Because if you're saying you could do Kraven the Hunter without Spider-Man, it's just a regular old fucking movie with a dude that's just happened to be named Kraven.
This is gonna be Sony's reboot of Crocodile fucking Dundee. It's like,
Yep.
Why?
And that's the thing. It's like, how, like all of a sudden they're gonna turn Kraven into a fucking anti-hero. By the way, that's what they're gonna turn him into.
100%. Yeah.
And I'm like, no,
a rhino stampeded and killed his mom, so he has to like hunt to get revenge because he's so upset about that, the death of his parents, and that's why he's such a jackass now.
I think it's going to be harder than you think, because nowadays, you know, we live in the day and age where, like, you saw those pictures, those big game hunters on Twitter and shit. Like, people do not tolerate that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that lady that killed the giraffes and shit like that. Like, people don't fuck with big game hunting anymore. Because, like, you know, because now it's so, like...
Just hit me. They're going to turn him into Android 17. He's going to be a ranger and protecting wildlife. And someone's going to get kidnapped. And he's got to go to the big city to get back whatever animal got kidnapped using the skills that he picked up in the outback.
Oh, my God.
I think you're 100%. I think so. So you guys got my prediction for Morbius. I think that's yours for Kraven, and I think you're 100% right.
If that turns out what the fucking money is, again, I'm gonna be like, dog, run my man Prime his money, dog. Give me his money.
Pay that man. Dude, pay this man his money.
I gave you. I think when we were talking about Homecoming originally, 2 years ago or whatever, I gave you my idea for Kraven, where we have Scorpion and Spider-Man. Kraven gets word, comes to hunt, you know, the bugs, the game, the animals, whatever. Yeah. And he's a secondary character. Like, okay, that makes sense. Like, he comes to the big city to hunt these two, you know, insect characters, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yeah.
All right, that's a way. That's a way to, like, work it in. I don't know if you've seen that new Spider-Man show on TV. It's fucking terrible, but he's like a reality show host.
Awful. It's so shitty. Oh my, that show. Ooh, that fucking show.
And he had a fake arm or some shit like that. Like, it's it's not good. Like, when they first showed the clips from that show of Spider-Man fighting the Scorpion. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I like it. I like the style. It's that Voltron style. Okay, cool. This fucking show literally crammed Miles, Spider-Girl, Venom, Hobgoblin, Doc Ock, and about 50 other characters into one season.
Yeah, that makes sense, because Ultimate Spider-Man, it took them until season 4 when they did the multiverse thing, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. This is just like, what?
And why the fuck is Miles so useless? Like, why is he so superfluous? Oh, why? Because you just crammed him in there because people like Miles. We got to put Miles in the cartoon now, right? I plan to use Miles better.
And you put Spider-Girl because
reasons. To me, put Miles in his own, like, this Spider-Verse movie, I love the way it looks. My only fucking concern is Miles, and we had this conversation a million times. Miles, to me, is his own thing. In his universe, Peter Parker died. He takes up the mantle. He's now Spider-Man. Like you have Spider-Gwen, you have the 616 Peter Parker,
Spider-Noir,
Spider-Man Noir,
the Japanese.
Spider-Man. I love all that shit. But I'm almost like, oh man, I hope they're not doing that because they don't think Miles can hold his own movie, which is kind of the feeling that I'm getting.
It feels more opposite though, because it feels like it's more like, yeah, you have all these characters, but it still comes down to Miles. Like, yo, I got these people helping me. They're kind of my backup to help me prevent this tragedy from happening. So,
right, you're right, and I like that in the commercial. Peter's teaching him how to swing and how to be a hero. So that way, maybe during the climax of the movie, he's the one that takes down the Goblin or whoever.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm down. I can't fucking wait for that movie. But with these fucking animated series, stop trying to cram Peter and Miles and Gwen and Spider-Girl and into one thing. It's almost like Batman and Robin now. And, like, Miles, just give his own fucking show.
Don't get it twisted, man. Spider-Girl actually being in anything, I am happy because I feel that's like a very underused character anyway. And stuff. So it's like, all right, cool. Granted, I wish she was in the other show that they're doing with like Quake and Squirrel Girl.
Oh, dude, I watched my chick has a little girl, and I bought her the DC Hero Girls, right? The dolls.
Yeah.
They're basically like Barbies. Okay, so she's all into that, and then I see the Marvel Rising. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I watched... Have you seen the first episode? It's like 80 minutes long.
Yeah.
Where they all introduce each other. Dude, Squirrel Girl, that bitch is desperate for that Patriot dick. She literally
she loves
on his face.
Yo, she loves Patriot. And I was like, oh, shit, okay. Okay, I can dig this angle.
She sits on his face and says, it's time to eat nuts and kick butt. And Squirrel Girl is thick.
Yeah, they've been fluctuating that in the comics. I don't know, which is weird with Squirrel Girl in the comics. They've been kind of balancing, like, okay, she's skinny and then she's thick, and depending on it's artist interpretation. That's why I always sit there and say. So it seemed like they just stuck with this and kept it moving. So
it's funny, man, because like her little girl's all into the dolls and shit. I'm all about it, so I get her like a Spider-Gwen, and that's just the female Spider-Man. That's as simple as I can give it to her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, that makes sense. She loves it. Quake is, well, she can make earthquakes and shit. She's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, okay, cool. Yada yada yada. Miss Marvel, she goes, well, what does Squirrel Girl do? I look at her and I'm like, honey, I honestly don't know. That's so, you stumped me. Because I was like, I don't give a fuck about her. And she's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, completely fucking ridiculous. She's like, I mean, Jesus Christ. It's like laughable. And I'm like, I don't know. Except, she's trying to fuck Patriot hard.
I mean, I think that's an interesting angle considering it's like Patriot and Kate Bishop Hawkeye hooked up and stuff, so I think that's pretty cool that they're actually switching it up, and it's like, oh, okay, Squirrel Girl and Patriot. Okay.
What I will give for that show is that, I mean, they are trying as fucking hard as they can to be diverse. That America check.
Are you saying that
Are
Squirrel Girl is trying to bust nuts? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Yep. She wants to eat nuts and kick butts, dude. The America chick, thicker, Hispanic gal, I'm like, all right, I'm into it. As two moms, I'm like, okay.
Broken as shit, by the way, in the comics.
On that planet. Huh?
I said she's broken as hell too, because she's on the Ultimates team. Is probably like one of their more powerful fucking.
Well, now she's on West Coast Avengers in the fucking reality show, like we're in 1990 fucking 8.
Yeah.
What is she? Is she an alien?
She's a being from another dimension.
Yeah. I think she can hadn't she travel from different dimensions?
Like she can punch holes and make portals.
Superboy Prime in Marvel, basically.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
but not really.
She's a bit more. She's more mature.
Yeah, she's more stable emotionally sometimes, and I said sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah, solo comic.
And now,
not really that good, but
So Spider-Gwen is now Ghost Spider.
Yeah.
That name is fucking stupid. It makes that name makes me so fucking mad.
Miles is Kid Arachnid.
No, he's not there.
I hate that name as well.
Well, at least in the comics, he's still Miles Morales Spider-Man because originally he was supposed to be Spidey, and then I guess Marvel was like, well, that was stupid, so let's not do that. So.
Oh wow, Spidey.
Yeah, that was what they want to do, and I'm guessing somebody at Marvel looked on social media and was like, "Hey, they said this was stupid, so let's not do this."
Yeah, but spelled S-I-D.
Yeah, like they were angling him to be like an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., basically. Which I'm like, well, I mean, it gives him something to do, and his dad in the comic was somebody that worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. because I think Fury bailed his dad out of jail or some shit.
Yeah, then he said, like, I now own your ass, and then some missions from you, boy.
Yeah.
Run that back.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was like, all right, cool. We're good with that. But, yeah, man, in this, I felt it was a bit egregious of Venom to, like, put the Spider-Verse thing as a second after credit scene. Because I was like, this is bullshit.
I was so mad at that because, like, a lot of people saying, oh, you got to wait for the very, very, very end. And when it was that scene, I'm like, I could have just waited to see this in the movie. Why are you this is not to anything. Why are you wasting my time, Sony? Why are you wasting my fucking time right now? I could have been gone. I gotta fucking pee. This sucks.
I didn't see it because after I heard about like the mid-credit thing, so we stayed. I'm like, hold up. So when he said I've got this hot interview, I was like, are they gonna try to throw Peter in here or something, like some fucking weird like school thing?
Or J. Jonah.
And then when he shows the prison, yeah, exactly. And then when he shows up to prison, I was like, oh, it's Carnage. And we see the thing, and she's like, oh shit. I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, let's just go. I don't even fucking, because I know that there was another one, and I'm like, I don't even fucking care.
Well, it's but here's the thing, Joe. They literally start off that scene, and meanwhile, in another universe, I'm like, if you motherfuckers try to connect this shit to fucking Venom in any way, I'm gonna be angry with you.
You know what, though? What if they did this? And this, I'm throwing shit at the wall right now.
I'm telling you right now, don't be giving Sony ideas, dog.
Well, they can pay me for fucking Morbius.
Yeah.
What if Spider-Verse is a huge hit, which I expect it to be?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Right? Huge fucking hit. Kids love it. I've already seen the toys out. Toys kind of terrible, but let's say it's a huge hit. Meanwhile, in a different universe, how fast do you think Sony tries to work in Miles Morales into a live-action Venom movie?
So I said this like when Sony and Marvel made that deal, right? Because the deal was essentially I think a lot of people kind of misinterpreted it. The deal was essentially Marvel uses Peter Parker Spider-Man. There was nothing that says Sony couldn't use Spider-Man. It's just they couldn't use that version. And
Peter Parker, right?
Yeah. So I was always sitting up there saying, it's funny. They could have easily angled it and had Miles Morales like in Venom in some sort of capacity.
Yep.
They could have easily had Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, that's another one.
Any Spider.
I mean, I'm not even Miguel O'Hara. That's another one. Like, you could have used them as like the basis for like, the symbiote attached to one of them, and then went to Eddie. You just you shuffle up some storyline shit here and there, but you could have had your cake and eat it too on that. And I'm just sitting back like, this opportunity, Sony. Just saying. I
completely. And secondly, if you even fucking hint at Spider-Man 2099 in that Spider-Verse movie, I'm going to shit a brick. He's probably my second favorite Spider-Man costume, like the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't like the white one, but the blue one.
Yeah.
I fucking love that Spider-Man. And if you even hint in that Spider-Verse movie that he's there, I'm going to lose my shit. But, again, I asked the question. So, at the end of Venom, meanwhile, in a different universe.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How fast do you think they try to work Miles into that movie? I'm dead serious.
I think they would definitely. Here's the thing: they'll be petty enough to be like, they'll look at Marvel, Disney, and be like, "Yeah, you guys can continue using Peter Parker. They're gonna fast track and put Miles into Venom in some way." And I said it off the break. And again, when I did a review, I said they wrote themselves into a corner to where if they do a Venom sequel, they're gonna have to retcon some shit. And if there's a way to retcon it, fuck it. I guess you can put Miles in it. Or Miguel O'Hara. Or hell, fuck it, Ben Reilly. Cut straight to that.
Damn.
You know what?
Going straight to that fucking...
Hey, I'm going to say, you know what? They better cut your fucking check. Because they can totally fucking do that and do like a loose adaptation of separation anxiety. They can use Ben Reilly. They can hint at and allude that he's a clone of Peter Parker without fucking saying that.
If they really want to get people fucking money, you get Andrew Garfield.
Tom Holland.
Get Andrew fucking Garfield to play Ben Reilly and pay him a fucking king's ransom to come back as Ben Reilly. Don't even fucking tie it into Amazing Spider-Man. Get him back as Spider-Man and make him Ben Reilly. Make him cut his hair into a buzz cut like the 90s in some way or whatever. Whatever you gotta do.
Buzz cut blonde.
Yeah, buzz cut blonde, whatever. Make him Ben Reilly. You will be making money because, number one, whether you love him or love to hate those movies, everybody liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, which is why a lot of people felt that he got a bad break once, they had to recast Tom Holland and stuff. So it's like, if you really want to get on board, hey, get him as Ben Reilly and just forget that Amazing Spider-Man happened and just go nuts from there.
Sir, I like this. I like this.
I do too. He never does it.
I know, that's the sad part.
He's got such a bad taste in his mouth with Sony and how they threw him under the bus and
dude, yeah, they really did. Yeah.
I think it's a great idea and I think it could work and it would be like, all right, you know what? If you're not going to do Peter Parker, you're not going to fuck it. Just do this. I'm 100% with you. He never fucking does it.
Yeah. Because I think
in that case, then it goes back to mine.
Yeah.
What did you say?
No, what were you about to say?
I'm going to say, if that's the case, then it goes back. Go ahead, you got it.
I think we're on a delay here. I would have said, fuck it, man. You got Tom Holland under contract. Just get him to play Ben Reilly.
Man.
Fuck everybody's mind up.
That'd be a mind fuckery right there. It's like, oh, shit. Yeah.
True. He is obligated to Sony. True.
I'm mad we're giving Sony ideas and all of a sudden we see fucking news reports come out and I'm gonna be like, these motherfuckers listen to our goddamn show. Motherfuckers.
None of us are getting paid from it.
Not a red cent. Not even a fucking free ticket.
I will literally tag you guys on Twitter like, these motherfuckers took our goddamn ideas. See? Proof. Timestamp right there.
Well, I mean, fuck, man.
Hey, CJ, I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith basically gave the Gotham.
Yeah.
Remember? And then he's like, hey, Fox, hey, WB, what the fuck, man? He could have just cut me a check. Like
he did. I was laughing on that one. I was like, yeah, he got a point on that one. He did kind of, which I can go in on how Gotham, thank God it's on this last season. Yo, when I heard they had Shane West as fucking Bane, I was like, you motherfuckers just stopped caring, didn't you?
Remind me who Shane West is?
He was in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Which one was
he was the fucking not Wyatt Earp.
Dorian?
No. He was the young dude that was playing the sheriff. Fuck. Hold on, let me look it up real quick because I'm blanking out.
The name sounds familiar.
What was it? He played Tom Sawyer.
Oh shit, that guy?
Yeah, he's playing Bane.
Oh, fuck me.
I know. I was like, so we're doing like Gotham, and I know it was off tangent here. Bottom line, folks, don't watch Venom. That's just me personally, but whatever. Watch it. Like
watch it when it's on HBO.
I mean, it's background noise. They're gonna FX is gonna play the shit out of Venom. Just full disclosure. Okay, I get what you're doing and stuff, but I just but in terms of the sequel for Venom, they definitely need to like get somebody there to be like, all right, guys, let's do better. And I honestly don't know if they're even going to do that because they're just going to count their money and just do whatever. And I think it's going to be like Ghost Rider 2. I'm counting.
Why would you put that on that movie? Why would you put on that movie?
I'm putting it on that movie because
damn,
you would thought because you remember. hey, you and me and Prime, we talked about this last. I think was it with the thing and stuff where we diverted. And I was like, yeah, you remember when those directors talk cash shit about how Ghost Rider 2 was going to be great? Yeah, that's what's going to happen in Venom 2. They're going to talk cash shit and be like, oh man, you're going to get Carnage. It's going to be great. And then you get the movie and it's like, oh, that's what you did.
It can't. It can't be that bad. Like that's.
We're making predictions.
I'm not gonna say it's impossible.
We're making predictions.
I'm not gonna say it's impossible. Anything is possible in the world with shitty Blackheart. So anything under the moon and stars is possible.
We don't mention Blackheart, Prime. We don't mention emo Blackheart.
Yeah.
Emo Blackheart.
Too soon, man.
Emo Blackheart and his weather friends.
Like his weather friends, the climate crew.
No, he's talking about he brought the fucking crew, the Avatar, with him. And shit.
Yeah. Rain, wind, snow.
I'm just trying to figure out. I just want to walk around Sony and ask. Excuse me. This is a picture of Blackheart. You see this cool tendril looking motherfucker? This big, beefy, muscular, this thick lad right here, scary. Who the fuck signed off on emo scene kid number 15?
Hey, you know what's funny?
Fox.
It's funny, and you know what's funny? Maybe, and I hope I'm not the only one. I got sucked in on Ghost Rider because of that fucking cheap, the old West Ghost Rider riding alongside the other Ghost Rider. I got sucked in because of that movie.
That is literally the only good part of that movie. That's like not even an exaggeration. That's the only good part.
I like the movie, but honestly, that part with fucking Ghost Riders in the sky, I was like, dude, first of all, when you're like, you know what, we need like an old cowboy kid, Sam Elliott.
Okay. Perfect. I will watch a movie with old West Ghost Rider. Sam Elliott is going.
Fuck yeah, I
would watch a movie all day. It's like, all right, cool. Because Sam Elliott is cool enough to pull
Sam Elliott shows up. You know when he shows up, they're like, we need to shave that mustache. Nope,
mustache stays.
Okay. All right. We're looking for we're looking for like a modern take on a Western. I'm going to give you an old one. Okay.
You don't say no to Sam Elliott. You just go with it. That's all you do.
You accept the mustache. You accept that fucking gravelly ass voice, and you accept the fact that Sam Elliott's going to do whatever the fuck Sam Elliott wants to do, and you're going to like it.
This is why I loved him as Thunderbolt Ross, because it's like, yo, he was able to keep that mustache even though it wasn't in military rigs. That's the fucked up part about it. It's like, all right,
yeah, Sam, that mustache should be allowed. I don't care.
All right, cool.
I don't give a fuck.
All right, cool.
Okay. All right.
That's why I wish the MCU.
Anything else, sir?
That's why I wish for the. Hey, look, I love William Hurt. I think he's a great Thunderbolt Ross. There was a part of me that low key was wishing that they brought Sam Elliott back as Thunderbolt Ross a little bit. I
get it. I mean, yeah, no, I get it. Trust me.
But yeah, I have a feeling the Venom sequel is going to try to ride on Woody Harrelson. And they're gonna put a scene in the trailer that's gonna make all of us pop, because that's what we do as comic book fans. They're gonna try to put something in there that's gonna make us pop for it, and we're gonna be like, "Oh my god, it did it from the comic!" And then that's what's gonna get people to go watch the movie.
Honestly, man, no. I mean, I'm not even trying to like cool guy anything, but when these trailers come out and the pictures and everything, I mean, you can look at my Instagram. The most I said was like, I mean, Venom looks cool, but like there was nothing in the footage, there was nothing in anything where I was like, oh shit. It was like, I mean, he looks like Venom.
I mean, I got, again, that bike. I like how everybody was like, but you know, you're making fun of the bike scene. Wait till the full movie. It was still fucking prototype the video game in that scene.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I told you, I leaned over and told my girl, I was like, this motherfucker rides a motorcycle like an asshole. Why am I supposed to like him? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm Eddie Brack. I'm going to read from a fucking piece of paper while I'm interviewing you. Like, nobody does that. The fucking... Oh, shit, you're an investigative journalist?
Crackshot investigative journalist, and somehow he reverts from crackshot investigative journalist to an idiot all in a span of, like, 2 years of breaking up with this girl. I'm like, how does that happen?
Right. I like how the filmmaker.
No, it wasn't 2 years. Right. It was 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. My bad. Sorry, my bad. 6 months later.
It was 6 months.
I like how they're like, all right, he's this hard-hitting investigative journalist. I don't convey that. He has a notepad and he reads from it like it's the 1940s. Exactly.
Or the 90s.
Give him a notepad. Give this fucking man a notepad and a weird fucking accent that literally nobody knows. I'm telling you, man. What if they would have just said, "Fuck it"? Eddie Brock is originally from England. Yada yada yada. Okay, no problem. That's fine. That works.
Side note: he gets fired from his job, and I'm like, "So Eddie, why are you sad? There's YouTube that exists. You can continue your show on YouTube, Eddie." Just saying. I mean,
did anybody else think it was funny that homeboy from Luke Cage?
Oh man, you know what? I love that guy. I was like, it'd be in a better movie. Go back to Luke Cage season 3, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, folks.
So what would you give it out of 10?
Oh, I gave it 10 straight up. That was where I was sitting at.
I'd agree with that. I would agree with that.
I'll stand by that. That's about to see. Yeah.
I was sitting at a smooth 4 out of 10. I was like, I mean, it didn't piss button on some like Matrix Revolutions level of pissing me off. It was just like, well, this is just stupid. That's all I got out of it. I was like, I mean, I've seen worse.
It was a movie that, like, you just summed it up perfectly. It was like, this is fucking. Why are we watching this? Like, it was a movie that literally fucking proves that not every character in comics needs their own movie. That's exactly what that movie did for me.
I don't even want to say that in a word. I don't even want to say that because a lot of times about Ant-Man, you know. So it's like I don't want to say that per se, but it's like if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
Hey, Ant-Man was fucking Citizen Kane compared to this bullshit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
look, I saw some bold statements saying that they like Venom more than Doctor Strange, and I'm like, you can get the fuck out of my face, sir.
You can get the fuck out of my life.
It's okay, everybody. People can have shit taste. They're allowed to be wrong. That's fine.
It's like this whole notion of like, because dude, I've been reading this all fucking week when I posted my thing, and you know, when you post shit like that, you know people are gonna start talking, and I get it, and most of the time I don't respond, but then sometimes I'm like, fuck it, I'll play along. It's like, fuck you, you're this, you're that, you're a hater. And I'm like, I'm a hater because I don't like something. To me, a hater is somebody that just hates on something like blindly. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't fucking like this bullshit because it's bad. But it's like, if you like it, that's fine. That's fine. That's fair.
I just don't need
but don't like it and tell me that this is the definitive Venom. And this is the way, because I've read that. This is what Venom should have been all along. I'm like, nah, motherfucker. No, it's not.
I mean, visually, sure, if you want to say that. I mean,
yeah, visually, yeah. In terms of mannerisms, yeah. In terms of the situation he's in, no.
This is the way Venom always should have been done.
Give you the conceited face for a second, like, nah. Sorry, I mean, look,
I'm gonna need you to go fuck yourself.
Our bars are entirely in two different positions. I see.
I mean, the circumstances of Eddie Brock's character in Spider-Man 3 and spliced it with the visual style of the Venom in this movie and put them together. Well, then there's your perfect Venom right there.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that you can't have a 35-year-old or whatever, 36-year-old Venom being mad at a 16-year-old kid. I mean, I'm 36, dude. If I had a beef with a fucking 16-year-old kid over some serious shit, I'd be like, you might need to rethink your life.
I might need to start a YouTube thing because that shit does happen.
That is ironic.
It's fucking sad and pathetic, but it does happen.
That is ironic considering in the recent episode of It's Always Sunny, Mac and Charlie beat the shit out of little kids for to get their bikes back. And it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, no. Hey, don't get it twisted. Like, I'll fuck a kid up for some shit. But I'm not going to have, like, a serious, long-standing beef with some kid, you know what I mean, where he ruined my... Like, first of all, it's like, like when my friends have, they throw a fit and the kid expects you to bend to his will. I'm like, no fucking child manipulates me.
Yeah.
No child mind fucks me. Eddie Brock effectively gets mind fucked by Peter Parker. How are you going to do that when he's 16? Like, no 16-year-old's going to mind fuck me. Like, so.
Well, no. In context of derp Eddie Brock in this Venom movie, it can happen.
You're right. But see, like we've been talking about this for years. In a perfect world, man, you would have had that be it come in an Infinity War, and you would have had the next movie just be Peter with the suit, and not try to shoehorn Venom and Carnage and all this bullshit into one or two movies. You would have let it. Imagine what Venom could have been in the hands of MCU following Infinity War.
Side note, considering that we don't know much of what's going to happen, because number one, I already got a feeling that two things is going to happen. One, there's going to be some situations happening in Far From Home where it clearly takes place post-snap after Avengers 4, right?
Okay.
I already figured there's going to be some mindfuckery in the fact that Peter is going to probably remember what happened to him pre-snap. So he's already going to be going through some shit, right? I have a feeling that he's going to be going through some shit. Two, because I know Marvel is petty like that, and they have been in certain instances, I got a feeling they're going to do the fucking symbiote in some way. I got a feeling. I don't know why. I have a feeling they're going to do it. They're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to fucking do it, but they're going to do it. And it's going to come very subtle. It's going to come very subtle. And you ain't going to catch it initially. Now, granted, Far From Home is supposed to be Mysterio. That's all we know. It could be more than that. But still, their pettiness knows no bounds. That's all I'm saying.
Can I just fucking tell you how excited I am to see Mysterio?
I mean,
like,
I'm happy to see a villain that's not that's not Green Goblin. I mean, hell, I was the one that was happy to see the Lizard in Amazing Spider-Man. So,
yeah, so was I. But we all had that. But I'm saying, like, first of all, Jake Gyllenhaal's a fantastic actor.
Oh yeah.
And then you get him to play Mysterio. I'm like, Mysterio's such a fucking perfect villain for a movie.
Dude, what I mean? They saw the visual effects for Thanos in Infinity War and was like, okay, we can do Mysterio now.
Right, exactly. And I cannot fucking wait. I love the fact that his armor looks like Thor's armor, like he basically stole it or something. Or maybe he was shooting a movie and that's how it, whatever. But I can't fucking wait to see Mysterio.
And that was just behind the scenes footage. Like, we haven't even Mysterio's going to look like. Like, I'm telling you right now, when that first teaser trailer pops and we see fucking Mysterio, that shit's going to blow up the fucking internet. And you're going to have people that are going to be, and folks going to be Mysterio fans out the blue. And I'm like, you know what? I can't hate it. But
I can't wait for the bandwagon.
Hey, you saw how folks got on the Vulture fan bandwagon. You saw it. It was like, oh shit, Michael Keaton is Vulture. Sign me up. I was like, perfect. Yeah.
Dude, in a world where everyone said there's no way you can do Black Manta with that stupid ass helmet and make it look good, and it fucking looks awesome.
Oh, did you see the suit? Did you see that fucking suit they had on display with the fucking effect to show the charging of the fucking high beams?
Yup.
Again, this is what happens when WB said, all right, James Bond, do whatever the fuck you want. And it's like, all right, bet. Let's do this.
First thing he should have been is like, that dumbass helmet that everybody loves but hates? I'm put that in the movie.
I mean,
my point is like, dude, in a fucking world where we're like, there's no way you can do Black Manta's helmet like that. It's no way, and you do it, and it looks amazing. You mean to tell me you can't give Mysterio that fishbowl fucking helmet? What? Fuck it.
Oh, you know they're going to do it.
That's the way he is.
You know they're going to do it. I already know they're going to fucking do that shit. It's going to be the fishbowl helmet, and you're going to be like, oh, fuck, they did it. They fucking did it. The sons of bitches did it. And you're going to be like, yes, thank you. Thank you. Meanwhile, and don't get it twisted, right? I'm not going to lie in the fact that if we see, like, the first appearance of Carnage in some, like, screenshot or teaser trailer, I might have an eyebrow raised, like, I mean, he looks good, but I just want to know the acting. That's all. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like I said, he's going to kill it if they go in that direction, because I don't know if they're going to fast track it, but at the same time, I'm like, I need more than just the visuals. Like, I need more. Like, Give me
I mean,
more.
fair is fair. Like when Venom came out, the footage, it didn't impress me. And I'm not saying that it's just not my cup of tea. I didn't think it was that good, but to be fair, I did say at least Venom looks cool. Like he's the best part of that movie is the way he looks, the way he moves, etc., etc., etc. So if Carnage comes out and he looks like fucking Carnage, yada yada yada, makes axes and swords and hands, I'm gonna be like, he looks cool, but fool me once, and it's like I'm just not interested in shit like that. Like I don't. Yeah, it's like, all right, cool. Like, you know what else was cool? Like the fucking series. Like that was probably better than this bullshit.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure he'll look good. They got the look of him down. Although, I don't know if you guys have watched it again, but man, some of that CGI is fucking rough.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. Like I said, that's why I kind of cut it some slack.
Yeah.
I cut it some slack. Hold up, Prime. What were you talking? Okay, so you mentioned something on Twitter about like the scene in particular in their fighting. What did you mean by that? Since we're already been spoiling it. What were you talking about?
Yeah. So like we have CGI. We've been saying this for years. Like it's a comic movie. Some of the CGI is going to be wonky. It's like we've come to expect that. Like that's the nature of the fucking beast. So when it's doing the third act thing, when Ryan and Venom are fighting, there's a moment when the symbiotes split open.
Yeah. And
you see the two of them inside them, and they're like they're fighting too. And I'm like, that made me sit up in my seat, and I go, I wish the rest of this fight had that energy and that imagination like that, because that was interesting. I like that.
Yeah,
but the rest of it was just standard slog, two cartoon characters being tossed at each other, whatever. Nothing matters.
I got blown up in the ship. Yeah.
Now,
that one moment, I was like, that's fucking kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, or when I don't know if it was Venom or Carnage when when they were fighting on the walkway and he hit the ground, and you see the tendrils kind of go under the ground, under the grate they were standing on. I was like, all right, that's kind of Venom. You guys have ideas, but it's just, to me, like they were just poorly executed for the most part.
Yeah.
But there's definitely ideas. On a side note, before we wrap up, how fucking badly are you anticipating that Spider-Man DLC?
I'm fiending. I'm not going to lie. Since we last talked about it, I am fiending to an extent. You know, so I'm just sitting there like, come on, DLC, let's go.
it can come whenever, because I just put the game in and just web sling around in the city for shits and giggles.
Yeah, my different.
I was literally just gonna ask you, like, okay, how much time have you spent just traveling the city?
Forever. Like, sometimes just turn the game on, sit there, just waiting, stop a crime here and there, web sling.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah. I mean it's
like 2 weeks from now or something.
I think so. Supposedly, I was like, all right, let's go, game, let's go, let's see what happens. Can't wait. That whole system's gonna be good, man. But anyways, folks, that's us talking Venom and / Gotham
other
/
thing
Venom. Because again, don't be surprised if we just spontaneously talk about Gotham on an episode.
Okay, let's not say that, because I don't think it ever needs to be mentioned again.
No, I think we have to do a Gotham-focused show episode, and just all of us just joke about all the decision making on. That's worthy of us talking and just laughing at like a play-by-play of every season of where they fucked up at. Just like, oh, this happened.
I'll tell you this. I won't be sober for that.
I don't blame you. I realize the guy don't blame you. It's like,
there right now. You get me think about Gotham for an extended period of time. You're not getting me sober. That's just not happening.
No, I don't blame you whatsoever for that. I will blame you.
What's the next one? Aquaman and Spider-Man into the Spiderverse?
Yeah, it's a Spiderverse. Yeah, that's which. Side note, I'm actually happy that Alita Battle Angel moved to February, because I would hate to see a niche anime adaptation get swallowed up with all shit happening. So I'm actually happy it actually switched over to February by itself. So kudos on that one.
I mean, some intelligent thinking there for a minute.
Yeah, so.
Because when was it coming out initially?
Deeper, same.
I didn't fucking fucking crazy?
Yeah, it was going to come out the same weekend as Aquaman, and then like it's already enough that Aquaman is going to probably have that opening weekend because I think the fucking Mary Poppins shit comes out I think 2 weeks prior.
That PG Deadpool comes out too.
PG-13 Deadpool comes around Christmas. Bumblebee comes out the following week after Aquaman, so I'm like, fuck.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Hold up. That fucking 80s style Transformer though, holy shit.
What's the name of the fucking jets in Cybertron Prime? The fucking
which ones?
What's the name of the special jets or some Quinjets?
Beakers?
Yes, I saw that shit in the trailer. I was like, this movie got my money or what?
I like how they were like,
I've been burned 5 times. Again,
I like how they were like, 80s Transformers won't work on film. They're too blocky. They're too clunky. This motherfucker's like, hold my beer.
The director said, hold my beer. We're going to do this shit
hey,
right.
Base. Look at that.
Oh, dude, I mean, I'm just saying, whether the movie's good or not, who knows?
Look,
I mean, Johnson
it's just Shockwave. It's like,
I
I don't know whether this director is just looking at Bay like, hey, Bay, this is how you do it. Look at Shockwave. Yeah.
Dude, the fact that you have Prime show up and he's blocky and clunky and fucking full-on 80s style, I'm like, you know what? Just based on that shit alone.
Soundwave and the fucking...
Ravager.
Man, when that tape deck popped, I was like, you got my fucking money. God damn it. You got my goddamn money.
Fuck that. When you actually show Starscream and he's like red and blue and white and all that kind of bullshit.
That wasn't Starscream.
When he's when he's standing next to Soundwave.
Yeah.
That was Starscream.
Yeah.
That was Starscreen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Come on, man. I know my trends. But like when you see
Starscream from the trailer
there,
it was Blitzwing.
Yeah. Everybody kept thinking that was Starscream. I'm like, no.
No, you can't have Star. Well, I mean, that'd have been a cool villain too. Yeah. But when you show the lineup of the Decepticons, I was like, oh fuck me, right there. Like, whoever this guy is, give him the fucking reins because you know that they're going to do a soft reboot with this bullshit.
The movie is a soft reboot to the point. Funny thing, to the point that they're hinting at John Cena being an early version of G.I. Joe. I was like, what?
I beg your fucking pardon.
What? We're doing G.I. Joe crossovers?
Although, you know what, though, man? After Hasbro bought Power Rangers, I'm like, I guess. Like,
I mean, IDW. I mean, we already saw the IDW comic, tie in G.I. Joe and Transformers as being the same world, along with Mask and shit. So, I mean, fuck it, why not, right? I mean, that's if it's true. That's if it's true, though. If it's true. Otherwise, if it's just a soft reboot, I'm fine with that too.
Okay, so if it's a soft reboot set in the 80s, to me, the movie already looks better than the last one.
It's what the first movie was trying to do, where it was about a boy in his car, except this time it's a girl in their car.
All right, so let's say this movie comes out and hardcore Transformers fans are like, that's what I've been fucking waiting for. Like, God damn it, there you go. How fast do they build a rebooted Transformers universe set in the 80s?
Oh, they're fast track that shit. They're going to back up a truck full of money, and mark my words, they're going to do War for fucking Cybertron in the next movie. That's provided how
That's what I've been fucking saying for 15 years, is like, why don't you just give me, like, that shit in this trailer, obviously it takes place in the War of Cybertron, right?
Yeah.
Fuck a human character. This whole, like, we need humans to, like, make the audience. I don't give a fuck about a human character.
I know me and Prime are reading it. Have you read more than meets the eye comic?
I have not.
Oh, you should. That emphasizes even more that you don't really need humans because the Transformers already have human qualities to them in terms of how they interact with each other already. So yeah, you don't need the humans, man, at all.
I'm telling you, whoever this director is, I forgot his name, but like, you give me a War on fucking Cybertron movie. I mean, it could even be a sequel. Bumblebee's already on Earth. Fuck it, have the war. Bumblebee's doing retcons and bullshit. Dude, just the way that they look alone. is like, you know what? Take my money.
Travis Knight, that's the guy.
Take it.
Travis Knight. He's the one that did. He did Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, he did?
I watched it. I like.
Yeah, he did that. He was the animator for Coraline and Paranorman, and he helped. I think.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Paranorman was the first time he got to produce something, and then he did Box Trolls, and then his first directing was Kubo and the Two Strings.
Okay, well, this motherfucker's doing the Lord's work. Yeah, he's doing the Lord's work right now because 80s blocky Transformers don't work. Oh yeah, check this out.
Man.
You know, Bumblebee can't have his own movie because somebody. Yeah, check this out.
Everybody loving them fucking Bay movies, so yeah, you might as well.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a legit straight up soft reboot. Like they're like, shit, we kind of wrote ourselves into a corner here with in the Marky Mark one. So yeah, let's reboot this shit.
Sir, Mark Wahlberg. I'm just kidding. Okay,
Hey.
let me ask you this before we go. You have 80s Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
You have Transformers, right?
Yeah.
They look the way that they're supposed to fucking look. How soon, or do they hint in this one at the fucking 80s Dinobots?
That's a tough one.
3 movies.
Because those Dinobots in those last movies hurt my feelings.
3 movies out. That's not.
Yeah.
They're not gonna rush them.
Look. All I'm saying is, Prime. If they show a scene,
do you want them to Venom it? Do you want them to Venom the Dinobots? Is that what you want?
all I'm saying is,
No, I'm saying
if they show a in Bumblebee of Cybertron and we get fucking Grimlock breathing fire and shit, and he looks like Grimlock from the fucking cartoon, just a little small scene, we see that shit in the background, I might see Bumblebee like 3-4 times just for that fucking scene.
I would too.
I'm gonna be a selfish bastard. I'm gonna be a selfish bastard and say that I would rather the Dinobots get their own spin-off movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
No.
No,
You know
I'm not
what?
laughing
He's
because of
100%.
that. I'm laughing like, oh yeah.
He's 100% right. Like those last Dinobots, when they told me the Dinobots were coming, I'm like, oh shit! Like here we go. They were okay, kind of. They were more like dragons and shit.
Yeah.
But in that last movie, they were here's the Dinobots and they have babies and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you give me Grimlock. He doesn't have to look like a dinosaur because why the fuck would he look like a dinosaur on Cybertron?
Yeah.
And that motherfucker sounds stupid. Like he talks to him, like basically like Bizarro. Just take all my fucking money.
You know what? I would rather them they just go full on and do Grimlock's version that was in the Marvel comics where he was a fucking strategist and leader and was actually like on tap to be the leader of Autobots until a Shockwave happened. Hell yeah, you can do a Dinobots movie with Shockwave as the villain. You can do that shit.
Yeah.
And just delve into the origins of how Grimlock became fucking do Algernon style. Hell yeah, that can work. That shit can work.
Yeah.
See, who makes these movies? Is it Universal?
Paramount.
Okay, so again, send the check because there's your ideas for your next fucking 2 movies, and I'm gonna say that Sony owes me some money when we get that fucking Morbius picture of him playing the guitar.
With the oversized sweater and the Chinese checkout.
I swear to you, I won't be at work and they show that scene. I'm like, motherfucking dude, Joe predicted this. God.
And she's got a giant ass cup with some sassy ass saying on it or something like that too.
Oh my god.
Helen.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
he's also gonna have a little girl because why not, right?
Yep. And she's not gonna understand where he is. No, he can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm doing this for her. I have to fix myself for her.
Had to be a scientist.
Yep. Dude. Oh my god. I think we see some Morbius bullshit, whether it's like concept art or whatever. I think we see something before the end of the year. I'm not saying necessarily like, footage or stills or anything, but
oh, there's gonna be footage before the end of the year. You best believe that shit. No, because they said 2019 they're gonna start filming. I got a feeling by San Diego Comic-Con, they're going to have footage at San Diego Comic-Con.
I might have to go so I can be there, and when they reel it, and I'm
we all have to be there, Joe. All 3 of us have to call H and see reactions, and then take our reactions
like,
afterwards.
I was right. Send me the money. Anyways, I agree, man. Venom, 4 out of 10. Not been good.
Yeah. But anyways, folks,
Not
that is
good at
it. That is it. So thank you guys for joining in. And when you catch us next time, I think me and Prime, we listened to our last comic book corner on the Shattered Grid because that was probably our more funner on the Power Ranger comic that didn't feel like it was a drag. It was actually fun.
Yeah. Better than the last one we did.
Yeah. That was fun. So I think another one I have to get so we can actually talk comics because there's been a lot of shit that I've read and I'm laughing more.
So, speaking of that shit. So did you see the rumor? Speaking of our last comic corner, did you see the rumor that Damian might quit being Robin?
Stop, Prime. Stop. Nope, not today. Not today, Jesus. You're not doing this to me. Nope, not doing it. Nope. We will catch you guys later. We will catch you guys later. We'll talk about the Peace out, guys. Joe.